she's doing stuff. Hey, I got a beer. Hey, you, beer me. Naturally.
All right. Here.
Well, let's see. I got back up, but you didn't.
All right.
So you need to refresh. What happened? Djokovic is being kicked out of Australia. Truth hurts. It's funny because Djokovic is like, there's two things I like about him, and there's a lot of things I don't like about him. I'm so torn. First of all, he's the greatest, except for Karen. But you could share your sub anniversary. He's the greatest at tennis. So I love watching him play. And he's a vegan, so I like that. I think that's why most people hate him. But anyway, otherwise, he's like the biggest dick ever, which means normally, tier 3, thanks, sweetie. Normally, you would say I'm the biggest dick ever who's a vegan, but he's crushing me. So, yeah. So, like, we got Stella, and we got Perrier, and so forth. Mainly and so forth. But yeah, Djokovic is good at tennis. My favorite tennis match ever, until I saw Djokovic beat somebody in the finals of the Australian, or I don't know where it was, actually. I don't even know who he beat. It was somebody good. It was like Nadal. But anyway, my favorite tennis match ever before that, I believe it was 1990, but if it wasn't, I'm a year off. It was the finals of the U.S. Open, Sampras Agassi. And nobody ever would have beat Sampras that day. Sampras beat Agassi like he couldn't play. His serve and volley was impossible. Agassi couldn't return any of his serves, and when he did, it was a winner immediately. It was at the net. I never saw anybody play that good. Man, Sampras was good. But yeah, Djokovic probably better if that's possible. Yeah, Djokovic, great. Go, Karen. Yeah. Is Stella vegan? It is. The questions that you guys ask me on the stream, you can find out in 5 seconds on your own. Ask questions you can't find out the answer to. Ooh, Karen's taking it off.
It's
all right.
down here.
Yay. I made it really hot so she'd take her clothes off. Hooray. To evil. I mean, to us. Yay. I like toasting evil. Usually I'm at a fancy restaurant. That's when I toast evil. Etc. I follow what's his name? The big guy, the muscle guy in the movie we just saw, the strong man. I can't remember people's names, but I follow him. Well, I mean, I could find it.
Oh.
He's the guy who played with the horns. That guy.
Forgot his name.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember the guy's name with the horns. Does somebody, come on, there's 250 of you. One of you has to know. I mean, I could find out in a second, but I hate to do that. Let's see.
No, we just saw Nightmare Alley.
Mm-hmm. Tim Curry and Tim Curry's alive?
So if anybody saw that, it's the...
Tim Curry's alive. Ron Perlman.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Ron Perlman's the best. He's the best actor. He's a very underrated actor because, he plays like unusual roles, but he's great. And all of his politics are the same as mine. Except he's famous, so people, he can say stuff. He has like over 1 million followers, and I have like 10 followers. But yeah, Ron Perlman's the greatest guy ever. Also, in the movie, he's like, I'm old, but I can still beat you up. And he is old. He's like 72. And he could beat him up. I think if Ron Perlman fought that guy, he'd win.
I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah.
I'm not upset today, but thank you for asking. I was a little tired today, and I'm finally waking up.
Tim Curry died? Really? I don't think he died. Hey, Siri, is Tim Curry alive?
Tim Curry was born April 19th, 1946, and is 75 years old.
Yeah, he's not dead. Tim Curry's alive. He's just been like in a wheelchair for a while. He can't do too much. Yeah, Tim Curry's alive. Yeah, no, Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman's a great actor, and his politics are the same as mine, except he's like a lot taller than me and stronger and older and more famous, more successful. Otherwise, we're like that, son. So I wrote to him and I said, I'm a big fan and you're the best. Tim Curry is the greatest person who ever lived, except for one thing. But I mean, I'm not kidding. I like Tim Curry a lot.
Hey, just mining.
Yeah, Tim Curry was so good in Rocky Horror that doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, Ron Perlman's great. I didn't see Don't Look Up yet, but I will. Yeah. Go Ron Perlman. But what a great actor. Okay, so Hype Train's going, and it's 2,000 to 3,200. That's good.
All right.
Karen has to leave soon because it's karaoke night, but not too soon.
Not too soon.
All right. Don't forget to donate or you're banned, as my shirt indicates.
I haven't been going lately.
Sure, yeah. Don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, and you can see all the stuff that I do here, but it's on YouTube, so you can fast forward and rewind and turn it up and
Hey,
play it at 2 speed.
This shirt's in the merch store, too.
Is it? Mm-hmm. I thought this was the shirt that the employees got me.
It is. I have
Oh, then you put it in the merch store?
I got them to put it in the merch
Oh,
store.
that's good. Yeah. So the more money you give us, the more money we have.
Well, my
Yeah.
COVID's already gone, Bonarici.
Where'd it go?
Oh, well, they're probably the ones that gave it to me. But
Mm-hmm.
who knows? Or somebody at the gym.
Everybody who's ever been at karaoke has had COVID.
Yeah,
and
they're,
then some.
they're not expecting to come
Mm-hmm.
there into a COVID-free environment, nor am I.
Yeah.
Just hope I don't get it again.
All right, let's go. Okay, I got it. I mean, I'm kidding. I barely have it.
All right, wait. I haven't had a sip of my beer yet.
Oh yeah, I have beer too. Hey, you, beer me. Frankly, delicious. It's too complicated, etc.
Let's see. So they're about to mate. I don't know. It seems like G takes F5. That's
I haven't solved it, but it's G
first
takes
one. That's
F5.
got to be the first
Right,
one.
I know that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the second move I'm not sure about.
Okay, so I'm going to continue looking.
Da, 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 da. Go at Karen.com. It's too difficult. Go Hype Train. We need 3 subs quickly in the next 40 seconds. Delicious.
Okay, so that didn't even work. I'm going to try a different idea. Let me see. Check. Little rucksack. Let's see. Check
You
already.
better check yourself before you rickety wreck yourself.
They may not take.
I offer draw. If he takes it, then I won't lose. So that's good.
It doesn't work.
No, the train died. Boo, boo. Hey, you're a conductor.
Me?
Yeah. Probably because you did the level 3 and then you're a conductor.
Yeah.
You've collected all the things. Yay. All right. Great work. Yeah, I did great. Puzzles are between 2,000 and
You could
3,200.
just take the pawn. Let's see. Check. And then they go there. Yeah, I think it's just queen takes h7.
Continue.
So then I guess king e8.
Uh-huh.
And then queen g6 check.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
Then what's their best move? Move king d8. In which case I can check him with the bishop. Bishop b6. I'm not sure.
There's a pawn here.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure after that.
I agree. I believe it's queen takes h7 check, and I think it's queen g6 check after, because after queen h5, king e7, I have no idea what to do. But after takes, I have the g6 square to check with. And then if he blocks with the rook, I have queen e6 check, and my rook can come down. Loses king, I have queen e6, queen d6. So I think it's queen h7 too. In fact, I'm not even sure white's playing for a win here, because white's down a piece. So white has to keep checking. If he makes a random legal move, even if black doesn't mate white, black's up a piece. So white can't just make a random move. White has to check every move. And after queen here, check, king here, I don't know what to do.
I assume rook g7.
No,
check
no,
doesn't work.
the queen can take it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's twice I've just hung my
Right. So
piece.
I think it's here. Yeah.
All right.
That's what you think, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I was just trying to
Chat
think
the
of
chat
another
thinks
idea.
it's here, so that's why I think that they're wrong.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
looking at that too, but I still
Yeah.
think it's queen takes h7.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not very good.
Let's see. He says queen h5 mate, trust me. So that's got to be wrong. Right. And then Bonarici just gives a line where he hangs all the pieces, then resigns. I don't know. I don't understand that line. Why are you giving all your pieces away? It's fun? Yeah, he
Maybe.
said check, king here, then give the bishop away, and then rook check, and then after here, like, there's no checks. And
Yeah, I've been
resign.
trying to give pieces away
Right.
too.
All right, so I assume the chat's wrong, so that makes it more confident that this is right. Damn.
Darn.
I hate the chat.
What if Bonarici's right?
No, he's never right. Unless he's using an engine.
What about my? Well, yeah, the queen can take.
That
it.
was your move.
Yeah, I know, but none of my other ideas were any good. They
All right,
just
let's
hung
play
pieces.
the chat move.
All right.
Yay, it was wrong.
Darn.
Good.
So nobody's right.
I like when the chat's wrong.
Well, I like somebody to
Mm-hmm.
be right, so we can cheer for them.
Da-da-da-da. Now I'm looking at this, because if king takes, we have this check. And if queen takes, then he's not threatening mate.
Well, that's what I was counting.
Now, I don't see what to do,
You said
but-
queen would take it.
Right, and then I give up.
So that
but
was
I'm
why-
but I'm trying to find a move.
I know, but rook g7 was mine that didn't work.
Yeah, but then you take it, and then maybe that's still the answer.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, I don't see an answer. Like, if this check doesn't work and this check doesn't work, then it has to be this check, because there's no other move. No.
No, all right.
So wait, those are the only legal checks. So I don't understand this position. Now I have no idea what the answer is. This doesn't make any sense to me. If it's rook c1, then this is like a 3200 problem. Like just stopping mate, and then we continue the attack later. Or it could be rook here or rook here, but that doesn't attack the queen. But this gains a tempo anyway. The problem with this gaining a tempo is when I move my king, now I can go to g7 later. So I don't know. Bishop d4 just hangs checkmate, so that's not right.
And the queen.
Right. It was rook c1, because you're getting the queen off of this diagonal. So this problem is going to have an insane rating, because nobody would play that ever. Got to be king a1, because king here walks into this check. Yeah. Now he played king here. So it could be rook e1. It could be bishop c. Well, no, I can't. My queen's hanging. It could be queen h7. It could be rook g7. Yeah. Yeah, this problem is going to have like an insane rating because it's impossible to solve. Knight c2 check seems annoying too. But only a little annoying. Queen takes f5 is annoying. I mean, like, the knight's defending the queen, so there's not even, like, a bishop check if he moves his king away. There's not even any tricks.
Who moves it? Well, yeah, that's still a 2 move. I don't know.
It could be check, and then when he moves his king away, we can attack the rook and threaten queen d6 check, which You know, it seems like if the king's defending the rook, we should separate them and keep the king on a dark square. Thanks, somebody. Shawang. SC Wang, tier 2. Wow. Wednesdays are class days when we announce we have a class and we have a sponsor. So next Wednesday, probably. You have any ideas?
I was just, no, not really. I was looking at.
I was going to try
slow.
this.
After you move the check, I agree with that, and then maybe bishop.
All right, good.
bishop
Yeah, after
and-
King D7, I wanted to get my rook down here.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Oh, that's wrong. Huh?
Oh, I was looking also at.
All right.
Oh, that was right.
Well, it has to be check because we got to check eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so queen here I like. That threatens the rook, threatens the knight, defends our bishop, and prepares rook G7. So I like this move.
Yeah, that seems
well,
to
after
be
rook E8, I give up. Oh, rook E8, I can take it. The bishop's pinned. Now I really like it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that was 29.85, but that was way too hard.
And that was real hard.
That was way harder than 29.85. No, it's impossible to find any of the moves. Yeah, that was like Fox Newsworthy. Yeah. See, this move attacks this, defends this, prepares rook G7, and you can't play here because the rook's hanging. But I'm still mad. No, that was too hard. He said, you look great as always. What is she supposed to not look great?
Oh, thank you, Eduardo.
The more you donate, the more clothes she buys to look great. It's almost a true story. Yeah. Naka would solve it in 3 seconds except for one thing. All right. All right, next one.
All right. Black to move.
Delicious. This one I solved, but it's really hard. But I solved it. It was like process of elimination. I'm like, that move doesn't work. That move doesn't work. Hey, that move works. And then I solved it. If I was playing like a 1 minute game or a 3 minute game, I wouldn't find it. But it's a puzzle. So, got to try puzzle moves. I mean, if I was Naka, what would I be doing now? I'd probably be like in a tiny hotel room in Poland, choking on my rage. Oh, wait, that is what he's doing. Even though he's trapped in Poland, he's still the only player who didn't lose any games in either event. So that's pretty good. Technically, he lost on forfeit to Dubov, but not really.
So I had an idea.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard for me to calculate. I was thinking bishop f3.
Correct.
Actually. Yeah, and then if they take, they're blocking off the pawn.
Right.
from
You said
the-
if they take.
Well,
And
they have to take.
Well, they play King G1, you go here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, then you play here, and then you win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
I did it. It's probably not a very high rated one.
2140. It's harder than 2140. It's only easier because you know it's a puzzle. If you're playing in a real game, it's hard to find. Yeah.
Definitely.
He would win a puzzle championship. Me and Naka are like that, son.
You didn't get that one, Bonarici? I know.
We text every day.
Occasionally I can get one. But I'm just slow. Okay, white to move.
Delicious.
I don't know. Did you already solve it?
I solved it about 4 seconds ago. Yeah.
Darn.
No, the stream intro song is only if you watch the beginning of the stream. It's not on YouTube. That may change eventually. That's a Karen question. And the answer is fries.
Yeah, I don't know about it.
Yeah, Ray Robson is the best at puzzle, rush, or battle, or whatever. But a lot of reasons why people are good at puzzle, rush, or battle, whatever the hell it is because they do it a million times and they see the same puzzles. But yeah, Naroditsky and Robson and that guy from Germany. Is he from Germany? There's some 2200 from Germany who does all the puzzles, so he's good.
Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy, and then I haven't heard of him lately. And Nakamura's okay. Nakamura's better at chess than the other people, but
Hey, Hans,
Solving-
Hans Neiman's pretty good.
Hans was good too. But solving puzzles that you've seen before, that's not really indicative of chess strength. That's just indicative that you've done a lot of puzzles.
They're not all memorized.
Right, but it's a big
Yeah.
advantage when
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
already
definitely.
seen some of them.
No, Hans was talking about that on his stream one time. I don't know this one. I just don't know.
Well, you obviously have to move the knight to attack the queen.
Yeah.
And,
but
and you don't want the queen to go here check, because then you're not going to win material. So therefore, the only two moves to look at are this and this.
right.
That's it. You can't look at any other move. If you move the knight anywhere else, I can play queen here check, and there's not going to be a win. So I looked at this, and then queen here's forced, and then I looked and looked and looked, and I gave up. Then I looked at this, and then I didn't give up, because after queen here, so the queen has to go somewhere. Well, that's if you go to a6, then knight takes c7 is a family fork. So you have to go to c5 because there's no other safe square.
Right.
Now, first move I looked at was bishop e3, but then after e5, I gave up. Then I looked at the other move, bishop b4 attacking the queen, and discovered attack on the knight. And then I was like, that's a good answer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be here, and then that's just a silly move.
That makes sense. All that makes sense.
Right. Fast feline 45. Thank you. Right, after b4, you're stuck, but after bishop b4, you're unleashing on the knight. That's why b4 didn't work.
Yeah,
It was a
I can
mixture
see
of
that.
attacking the queen and the knight.
I can see it.
And when I teach this, we have a lot of viewers for some reason. And when I teach these things, I used to tell my students before I stopped teaching that when you have pieces that are far away, they're not like at home. That could be good because you're taking things, and it could be bad because your opponent takes them. So when you got this lined up, this is a very, very, very dangerous move, right? Just like the movie Dangerous Moves. So it's not surprising that White's winning. Thanks, Chess Cab, for cutie.
Thank you, Cheska. Well, I could see that I needed to discover, but I just couldn't find that other move.
Right, and then the thing you have to realize about the discovered attack is that if he plays queen e5 check, I'm not going to win. So therefore, I cut it down to these two.
Okay.
I actually looked at this first, and then I gave up. And then I looked at this, and then I did a Bonarici and looked at that, and I couldn't get anywhere. Then when I looked at that, I was like, good. So it was a process of elimination. Now, let me explain chess to you guys so you can go in the corner and cry. I was crying in the corner before you guys were born. At the lower levels of chess, when these positions occur, is White going to play knight d5, bishop b4? Probably not. And if he doesn't do that, or she, then Black has an advantage. Black's up a pawn. White doesn't really have compensation. And the engine says Black has a big advantage unless White plays the winning knight d5, bishop b4. If two players are under 2,000 and they're playing in a slow tournament, it's possible they'll see knight d5, bishop b4. It's possible they won't. And so if you don't, and you don't have a coach, you don't analyze your games with an engine, you don't analyze your games by yourself, and you're just like, la, 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 you never know you missed a tactic. You never knew, neither player knew that White was winning. And to go even further, a lot of players who aren't going to get better, they say things like, well, I was Black and I took the pawn. And if I'm like, hey, your opponent could have played knight d5, bishop b4, they'll say, yeah, but he didn't do that. And then I quit teaching chess. That's sort of the story of me quitting teaching chess. That move is bad. And they're like, no, it's not. I won. Your opponent could have gone there. Yeah, but they didn't do that. So if you talk to super GMs, they don't say those things. They're like, oh my God. Now, if a super GM was Black and he won, and he found out knight d5, bishop b4 won, he'd be choking on his own rage. Okay, he'd rage against the machine. And lower rated players are like, yes, they didn't find it. And in a lot of your games that you play where you think you played well, you didn't. It's a 0% chance you played well. Then when you look with an engine, you'll see like 10 mistakes you made. And you're like, yeah, my opponent didn't see that, so that's okay. That's why you don't get better.
It's the only way to win when you're lower.
And if you want to be objective and analyze your games correctly, then you'll improve your game. Same goes in poker. Okay. Now, here's the poker lecture. In poker, when the session is done, if it's ever done, then you either won money or lost money. If you won money, you explain how great you are. I won money. I was better than the other players. I did this. I did it like that. I did it with the wiffle ball bat. And okay. And when you lose money, you're like, an hour and a half into the session, I had pocket aces and I lost a queen 10. And you shake your head like this. Okay. If you're a good player, which you're not, in poker, you actually analyze every hand and think about how you play and how you could have gotten better. So if you lose aces against queen 10, you analyze that hand and you're like, I lost all my money that hand, but that's okay. Or you could think it's not okay. You could think, man, after the flop, I should have slowed down with my aces. That wasn't a good flop for my aces. But people just say I lost with aces against queen 10 and they go on. They don't talk about the other 95 hands they played. And so if you do that, you won't improve yourself as a player. Same in basketball, football, baseball. That's why there's coaches. And in other sports, there's lots of coaches. Okay, like Karen probably doesn't know, not only is there the coach in football, the guy who's the coach, then there's like all kinds of coaches. There's like the quarterback's coach, the defensive line. There's like 50 coaches.
I know that.
And they're like, you're standing like this and you're sitting like that and you didn't bring the wiffle ball bat.
There's a whole staff.
And then there's a coach, Karen definitely doesn't know this. There's a coach that tells you how to remove all of your clothes and walk off the field. Okay, that's a specific coach just for Antonio Brown. Yeah. The way you get better at chess and bridge and poker and backgammon is you go out for beers after the game. Basically, that's enough. Then you talk about what happened with other people that are good. So if you're 1,400 at chess and you play some games and the tournament's over that day, but it's the next day, okay? Like, let's say Karen. Karen's about 1,400. Let's say she gets 1 out of 3, and now she wants to go get some beers. She should find 3 tall, handsome GMs, like Naroditsky and his 2 twin brothers, and say, hey, you guys want to go out for drinks? I'm buying. Then they're like, all right. Then while she's getting drunk with them, she can say, look at this game. What about here? And then they'll help her because she's cute and she's buying them drinks. Then she'll get better at chess. But what most people do is they're like, I lost, and they ball their score sheet up and throw it out. That's not how you get better. That's not how you do it. Yeah.
No, that was a real thing about the guy taking his shirt and shoulder pads off and walking around shirtless on the field during the game. That was a real thing.
Well, he had a coach. Yeah. He had a coach. The coach told him how to do that. He was really good at it.
Right.
Right?
No, but they thought you were joking.
No, they know. And also, you don't have to drink alcohol. You can just say you're drinking alcohol and not drink. Yeah, right. Well, you can't prove Antonio Brown has CTE. However, he has CTE. But you can't prove it. You could only find out. By the way, I'm not a doctor. Should be. Ben Feigl. Okay, but explain to me how with all the advanced technology we have, they can't tell if you have CTE while you're alive. Like, they can do anything, but they can't do that. It's sort of like if Meatloaf was a doctor. He'll do anything for your brain, but he can't do that. The only way they can find if you have CTE is after you're dead. Then they take your brain apart. And I'm like, and one guy who went insane, he said, can you guys analyze my brain after I die? And he died. And then they did, and then, man, that guy had CTE. God damn. Like, he knew that he was something wrong with him.
No, are you talking about the murderer?
I think it was somebody else. Well, first of all, there's more than one murderer. There's the guy who killed a lot of people. Then there's Aaron Hernandez, who only killed 1 or 2.
Aaron Hernandez.
Right. Actually, Aaron Hernandez, like, way before he did what he did, he did something else.
Oh, yeah.
He was a suspicious character. Okay, he was good at football. Yeah. No, I understand they can't cut open your brain, but you would think with some advanced technology they could get in there.
Imaging.
They could see something.
Yeah.
But they can't. Yeah. But I'm assuming in the future they can. I'm assuming they just figure out how to do it without cutting your brain open. Yeah. But yeah, that hit that he took with Burdick, I think it was.
Hey, let's do a puzzle.
Man, that didn't look good.
I want to talk about all these sports things.
Look bad. Yeah. How much is the MIT tuition? A lot. If you donate a lot, that would be 1% of
Yeah, we need some money now.
100 times a lot. Yeah. All right.
100 times a lot.
You might not learn chess here, but you'll learn about brain injury. Yeah. All right.
Even if we're homeless, I'm glad Holden's getting to go to MIT.
I finally solved it. I thought I was right, but then I was wrong. Now I know I'm right. That's better. It's like The Hustler. You're right, and you know you're right. There's not a better feeling than that. And when those balls are moving on the table, your hand it's part of the cue stick. It's one thing. Paraphrase.
Let's see. Back right. Made it over here. Right there.
Yeah, it seems like boxing and football shouldn't be sports because it's just you. And now Calvin Johnson doesn't look so dumb. Calvin Johnson looks like a genius. Obviously, when you play for the Lions, you just want to retire because you can't take it anymore. So Barry Sanders and Megatron, but by retiring really early when they were still really good, they probably have less brain injury. Also, what's his name? Our friend, the math guy.
Which math guy?
The guy who played in the NFL.
Oh, John Urschel?
Yeah, John Urschel. John Urschel, was a very good player. But if he played 5 more years, which I'm sure he could have, a brain might hurt.
I think I have John. It's funny because I have John's phone number in my phone because of the time that you had me talk to.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
it's
know
next to
him very well.
Naroditsky, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting out of the NFL early where you have money, you can get a PhD in math is a good,
All right, let me see. I don't understand, but I have some ideas.
Right, he was actually going to MIT when he was playing pro ball, which isn't allowed, but he didn't tell anybody. So he was working all day and night on his PhD on MIT, and then he was playing football. Then he left football, which was a good idea.
That's another idea. Ooh, that one's better.
Yeah, me and John Urschel are like that, son, but not really. But.
I don't know what he would do. How about rook c5?
Correct.
Yeah.
Now let me show you the line.
I had some other ideas that didn't work because of back rank mate.
Right.
So then
no,
I
there's
thought,
there's no back rank mate. There isn't one.
Well,
No. That's not mate because of here. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I thought it was. I thought it was this.
I looked at that first.
Okay. Then if here, rook here wins.
Right.
So then I saw takes, rook check, and then queen g8. God damn. And then black's winning. So then I saw that and I was like, okay.
That was the last thing I looked at. Was
Yeah, this is going to be a low-rated one. This will be
Yeah,
like 2,000.
I agree,
This will be 2140.
that one's easy. You guys probably all got it.
2140.
Hey, weird guess.
2,039.
Yeah, that one seemed easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at those other lines too.
Right, yeah, bishop d7 doesn't work. That was my first idea. And then I saw queen g8 and I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was my
And then I
first
resigned.
idea. That's my first idea. Didn't work.
Oh, this is funny. I thought white was dead lost, but white can play bishop here and take this. So white's only much worse. I can't believe that white's not lost here. Jesus Christ. It says white's only slightly worse here. Man, bishop's not too good. Man,
Yeah.
I don't like it. Now, this is the wrong colored rook pawn, so it's possible even taking has good drawing chances. Not too good, but some. All right. But that's beyond the fray, as we say.
You missed queen g8, Mohas.
Yep, the truth hurts. All right, go Karen, but stay there.
All right, black to move. Let's see. You already solved it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm right, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Okay, I'm right. Now I'm definitely sure I'm right. Trying to figure out what opening this is. Ooh, Stella. All right, we need 700 subs today because about 3 weeks ago we had 2,900 subs and now we have 2,200. Terrible. If you donate 700 subs, you'll definitely get thanked. Should we tell them the announcement? Because I already told them. Yeah.
What announcement?
The thing that we just put on the Discord and Twitter.
Oh, the Nord. Which thing?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to do that too.
Oh.
So if you follow us on Twitter and or Discord, we have a flyer for the match with Komodo Dragon. It's going to be Saturday, the 15th? Yeah, Saturday the 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm playing 6 games with Komodo Dragon, version 2.6. It's giving me night odds. It has white every game, and I have black every game. And the time control is 15 minutes with a 10-second increment. And the engine thinks it's 3-minute, 2-second increment. It's going to play fast. So it's going to play faster than I do. And then there's, now the other big announcement is for the first time ever, unless things fall through, which they won't, the stream's going to be sponsored. You'll notice other streams have sponsors, and our stream does not. One of the reasons our stream doesn't have a sponsor is because whenever we've had sponsorship offers, they're like,
I see.
Put this nonsense on your channel and on YouTube or whatever, and we'll give you 0.01% of sales profits. And we're like, no. However, we're going to have a sponsored channel where they're going to, pay us. So that's better. No. No. Rook F7, knight here. Then what do you do?
I was just gonna take it.
I mean, you're down a piece and 7 pawns. You can't just win a piece. Like you're down a piece, and you're down 2 pawns. I mean, if you check anywhere on the F file, they have to go here.
Right, I was gonna take with the pawn.
Right, but if you check here or check here, and they go here, you take with a pawn. Why is that better than here? Take with the pawn, they take back with the E pawn, and then you're down 2 pawns.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I'll give you a hint, which might not help. It's mate in 2.
Oh, it is?
But it is mate in 2. Which is hard to believe. In fact, I don't believe it. Well, I can do and say whatever I want. We have to say, thanks to the sponsor. Anyway, I don't know when that's going to start, but the contract has been signed. So if we can get 4 or 5 sponsors like that with the same deal, then, we can, help our kitchen out a little bit. Get some more Stella. Get some more Perrier. It's the first time we've had a sponsor. It's only for a month. Then if we like it and they like it, then we'll do something long term. But if they're like, man, nobody likes our product and you suck and I hate you, then we.
Hey, I don't know. I need some help. I just
Okay. Plant-based KFC chicken. That news is like a year old.
I'm going to look at chat if you're not going to tell
Okay.
me.
I have to tell you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I said I could give up on it.
All right. So it's queen here, check. And the reason is, here's the reason. You want the rook here because, ready? After queen check knight here, okay? Then queen g4 is mate. Because the rook is here and the knight's blocking the rook. So check, here mate. Now, this you're going to like.
Yeah.
If you didn't like me already, after check, rook f4, blocking with the rook. That's the other legal move. Then what's the move? It's mate in 1.
You keep walking this.
Right.
I guess it's E4 maybe.
E4 mate.
Yeah.
Right. So you got two mates, one for each of them. Yeah, that was 2110. Yeah.
Darn.
Well, that was tough.
Couldn't do that one.
There was blockades and pins and needles. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure when the sponsorship stream's going to start. I don't know when we're going to do that, but it'll be this month, right? Definitely in January.
They're trying to rush it, so I would say in the next week.
In the next week. And then the match will be in 10 days from today, I guess. Yeah. And so forth. Also, I'm going to make a video. They're making a video, chess.com, and they're asking a lot of people to do a part of it. I don't want to give away what it is, they'll tell you. And I'm going to be recording something on Monday, and then I guess in a few weeks they'll put it out. And so forth. How much money would Papa John's need to pay you to be your sponsor? That's a Karen question. If they email us and send us a contract, we'll consider it. Papa John's. All right.
Yeah, the bad guy doesn't work there anymore, right?
No, they got rid of him a long time ago.
Yeah. So. No, actually, I got a new one. Yeah, I was just reading about somebody that has COVID that we know.
COVID.
She said, I'm not going to say who it is, but she regrets not getting vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
She says. She regrets it, so that's
all that matters.
well, I'm just glad to see signs of life there.
Did she say, je regrette, mais je forget?
No, just happy to see that the brain is functioning.
I mean, like after the first move, I don't even care what Black does, so I'm done.
So I'm going to keep looking because
Yeah.
they're not positive that's the first move, even though it looks like
I know what the first move is, but I don't know what Black's going to do, but I don't care. Like, I know what I'm going to do later, no matter what he does.
Was the first move that just rook takes?
No.
Oh.
No.
Why is that the first move?
Just to say, why is it the first move? Why isn't it?
It's the same question no matter how it's phrased.
Mm-hmm. No.
So it's not it. All right, well, keep looking.
I mean, you're down a piece and a pawn, you're taking a piece. So
But
you got
it's
a
check.
pawn. Because the king moves. And you got to have a follow-up.
All right. Well, I didn't look further yet.
Well, you got to, you got to be better, like Melania.
Be better.
Who's the least accomplished first lady ever? Melania. Look, we got a doctor now who's a teacher, and then we had what's her name? Michelle Obama. She was a lawyer, right? And then we have this woman who's like a porn star. Maybe that is the most accomplished. Nah, but it was softcore, so no good. Terrible.
I don't really know the history of the first lady, so I can't really say for sure.
We had Dolly Madison. She made those great, cupcakes or whatever.
Like Betty Ford, and she started the Betty Ford Clinic after her alcoholism. But I'm not sure what her history is. But
Yeah, but Betty Ford, it's not fair. Here's why. Gerald Ford being the president was very unlikely. He was like just standing around like, you're the president. He didn't get elected president.
yeah.
Like, he's like, I'm the president? What? Right. He was appointed as like the 7th vice president, and then Nixon resigned. He's like, I'm the president. What's happening? So, his wife it wasn't like he ran for president. His wife's like, you can do it. When he did run for president, then he lost. Who did Ford lose to after, in the election, after he was president?
Was that Carter?
Yeah, he's from here.
Carter.
Yeah, he's from our state. When I was a kid, I went to sleep. So I was 11. No, I was 10. Yeah, I was 10. When I was 10 years old, I went to sleep. I woke up. I walked into the living room, and my dad wrote on the table in a big piece of paper, Carter wins XX clam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember much about it. I was so young when he was president. I don't know what the first move is. I can't look at anything but the one I already said. So what is the first move?
Okay, notice how this is pinned.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to take advantage of that. So this is the move you played. But what you want to play is this. God damn, do you want to play that? That attacks everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so do it.
Oh, so Queen D4?
Yes.
I didn't think about the
Yeah.
pin.
And when you play Queen D4 and the king was here, not only were you threatening to take, you were threatening the rook because the bishop was pinned. right? Now you can't take the rook now because the bishop takes the queen. And taking with a rook doesn't make sense because you could have already taken with the rook. So by process of elimination, it's here.
Yeah.
And this move threatens queen here checkmate with advantage, and it threatens queen takes rook. And if you think you can stop both, you're a daisy if you do. Probably the computer will play here, because that way it has an escape square, but then you check and just take the knight. That's my guess. Okay, he played here. Now you have another tactic, so that's good.
Let's see.
Somebody likes something.
Let's see. Is it rook? This rook takes the knight,
Right.
and then queen can take the
Right.
rook.
Now, what song would talk about this move?
Song. I don't know.
Oh, give me the knight.
Uh,
And then the guy said, always sack the exchange, right? Now what? Unfortunately, you lost because Connect 4
And I thought we just take. I already said
was
it.
a free queen.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
It's defended.
No,
I'm
it
kidding.
isn't.
Yeah.
Take the rook. Like I said, I already said that.
24, 25. I know. Gotta make some jokes.
Danya must be giving you lessons, Karen.
Must be.
No.
All right, go, mommy.
Black to move. I've had a little bit more time lately to do some tactics since we don't have the chess club anymore. But I'm going to probably die before I ever get my Twitch channel name resolved.
Mm-hmm.
That'll happen first.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't even matter if black is winning here. What matters is if Shanklin was white, he'd resign. That's what matters.
Poor Shanklin.
Da-da, da-da. Give me the knight.
No, that's a stalemate. So that's not good. All right, let me look at this other thing.
Big money, no whammy, stop. $9. Thanks, Dallas. You're the best. See Dallas 357. 9. That's my favorite donation. Da-da, da-da.
That's a stalemate too. All right, let me look at this other thing.
Shanklin probably wouldn't resign with black, but he would consider it. Mhm. Yes, I did see that in Palu. $999 is a good donation. I'll take that.
Oh, I could do that.
I'd rather have 999 subs. We lost so many subs. Like 99 subs. See, 99 subs costs you guys less than $999, but I need some subs. I don't have any subs. Uh-huh. 2 knights.
Sorry, I'm so slow.
Come on, Bonarici, learn your notation. Come on, I am Ricks. White can't move to the same square he's already on. Move 1. Yay! Some guy on the internet, 1234, gave 9 subs.
Yay.
9! Hooray! You're the best. The best thing about Saltire's answer is he wrote etc. That's correct. Good etc. Yeah, I lost a couple pounds today. Well, I guess yesterday. And I had that Indian food. That must be what it was. I've been doing 30 minutes of treadmill every day, 5 days in a row, and I'm eating less than I used to eat. I'm taking my medicine. Boo, boo.
Darn, it's a
Terrible.
stalemate.
Terrible New Year's resolution.
Everything's stalemate. Let's see.
Wow, that's a pretty. I like that answer. It gives a lot of stuff. Yeah. Very good, Mark. Banned from Australia. Da-da. Barely a GM. That's a good answer. The answer you gave, Bal Maja, Black's second move is illegal. Yeah, and also your analysis isn't good. Other than that, good job. Yeah. But it's still wrong anyway.
Okay, we'll go over it again. I think I found it. But I thought it was a stalemate before, so maybe.
Come on, Lloyd. You're probably the owner of Lloyd's Bank. Come on, hook us up. Unless they went bankrupt. You know how people in Britain pay their debts?
1 second.
With a pound of flesh. Oh, snap.
That was still a stalemate. I went through all these moves.
Aw.
Okay, we go there.
Tonight, hey you, beer me.
Oh, that might work.
Yeah, I played in Lloyd's Bank in 1988.
Oh, no.
Before you guys were born. If it's white to move, does black still win?
Okay, so I think is it King G3?
Yeah. Give me a
Instead of
second on
King
his
G2.
question.
King G3. Sorry I was so slow.
I actually don't know.
King G3 and then
I don't know what the answer is. We'll find out. I'll get this position with white to move by moving around. I'll do it. I'm going to say no,
I think they'll go King G1.
but I'm not saying I'm right. But I'm going to say no. Okay, so this is correct. Then what?
And then I thought H3.
Yeah, there's no other move you can play.
then King
Right.
has to take.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because
And then it's over.
side.
Now.
Yeah. But first time I looked at that line, I somehow got stalemate.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I looked
Now
at
here's some important lines.
It's not
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Here. Yeah, the engine didn't do that, but I expected the engine to do
Oh,
that.
okay. So I would say. King F2. And then he has to take. And then you can go G2.
What move are you playing?
King F2?
King F2. He has to take.
Well,
How about if I go here? Oh snap!
oh yeah.
Then it's a draw. Can't win anymore.
Darn.
Yeah, because this loses actually to takes, and then this is stalemate. Yeah, so you have to take, and then you unstalemate him. You can actually do either one. This is quicker.
King H3.
If you do here, yeah, King H3, King here just wins. But let's go here, just to give you some trouble. Okay, black has one move that, well, black has one thing that wins.
I think you have to give the pawn away. don't
You have to. Yeah, this is the only thing that
I've
wins.
seen that puzzle.
Yeah, you could promote to anything. Okay. Now, more important than the right answer is the wrong answer. Let's go here. That's the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you play King E1, and now after here, it looks like you can win by playing H3. Then if he takes on H3, this wins. But he plays King G1. Now he's actually threatening to take, and this is going to be stalemate, and that's a draw. So King E3 doesn't win. So to answer your question, Bonarich, you know it's a draw. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Okay. So Bonarici said if it's white's move here, is black still winning? And I thought it was no, and I was right. This is the only drawing move. Now it's a draw. But with black, so black to move in this position wins, as we saw. That's the puzzle. White to move king f2 is a draw.
Okay. Yeah.
The truth hurts. Council of Rooks subscribe with Prime. Good.
Yay! Thank you, Council.
Yeah. Exactly. That was 2007.
Yeah, I'm so slow, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Well, at least you can talk to chat while I'm trying to figure it out. And the slow people get a chance like me. There's nothing I can do about it.
No,
I'm slow. And
I didn't do nothing.
I'm going to try to work on my tactics.
At least you can spell audience.
Now that I don't work.
Like some people.
A crazy amount of time. I still work, but just not as much.
Yeah, we'll do viewer game analysis maybe once or twice a week. I still get put off by people who are like, why didn't you analyze my game? And here's $1.50, analyze my game. Anybody who talks in the chat and says, look at my game, I'm never looking at your game. Never.
Aw.
Right? I look at the games I want to look at. People who are like, what do you call them? Moderators, games that look interesting. But if you're like, hey, look at my game, I should have put my game on first. I don't care about that. Yeah, the more you talk about your game, the more you're banned. However, if you want to get unbanned, you know how to do it.
So how do you get your game looked at? You just have to put it in and just cross your fingers. That
Or you could
picked?
put it in and donate.
Oh, give money?
Well, I give money, I'll look at your game. Not $1. If you get $1, I'm going to delete your game. Yeah.
All right, black to me.
Anyway, you can still have your game looked at if you don't give money. It's just like random chance. If I like it, I'll look at it.
That's true that you get a bit better chance.
The thing is, when I do the game analysis, there's 9 million, like imagine you wrote a letter to this like fan club and the guy looked at it and the guy had 9 million letters. Your fan letter is not going to get answered. So, if I get like 37 games and I'm looking at 8 of them, your game's not going to get looked at. Except unless you're Kangaroo, then, etc. Yeah, 10,000 Centidues will do it. Yeah. Famously answered all of them. I mean, like, for example, Ringo Starr, when he got a fan letter from Marge, it took him like 20 years to answer it. But he answered it. So... My first question is, why are you down 3 pawns? Come on.
This one's hard to me.
Aw.
So,
Ringo Starr, best drummer ever. Well, he spelled his name wrong. And no. Nobody thinks Ringo Starr is the best drummer ever, except you. So maybe he is because you said so. The famous saying is, it's like half a joke, but half not, is that he wasn't the best drummer in the Beatles. Which is possibly true. Definitely. Paul McCartney's a drummer. And then some.
he's so talented. I didn't know he played the drums.
Yeah.
All right, let me see here.
Therefore, he's the best. We're seeing Ringo Starr this year.
We are?
Yeah. I bought those tickets last year. Over a year ago, I bought those tickets. Well, in June. We're seeing him in June. It's Ringo Starr and Colin Hay. Assuming that Ringo Starr's alive. He's over 80, so. If they don't cancel the concert, we'll see him. But I'm not paying millions of dollars. Ringo Starr definitely has a really cool name. Ringo Starr's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, speaking of Europeans, it's funny. this friend of mine from the Netherlands came and visited us. And as soon as he got here, he's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I was like, 1 or 2. And he said 2. And I said, I thought European.
Darn, I'm having struggling here. I'm just keep looking. Did everybody already solve it?
Hmm?
They did?
They give some analysis that's not good.
But they have the answer.
They know
I
the
don't
first
know.
move.
Well,
Well, you're down 3 pawns.
yeah.
So the first move is a check or a capture. Captures all suck. So show me the checks.
All right. Well, I didn't like. There's 91.
Correct.
But I didn't know what to do after. Oh.
Okay, so what move were you? We'll look at your move you're worried about. Okay, now what?
I wasn't worried about it. I didn't see him going up there.
Right. We'll look at later what you
Oh,
were.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now what do you do?
Uh,
That's the best move. That makes it, I mean, it's not really a best move. It doesn't really matter.
let's see.
Americans are just as good at geography as Europeans are, which means nobody knows anything. Europeans don't know geography either. They just know Europe.
Take us knight F3.
And Americans just know America. Well, they don't really, but a lot of Americans think New Mexico is another country. So, true story. What do I do?
Knight F3.
Right?
And then which
Go, Karen.
move is it?
But stay there.
So rook E1.
That's mate.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you thought he was going to go somewhere else.
No, I just thought he could go king H2.
Right. Then it's the same check and then mate.
It was hard for me to visualize.
The same deviled
I
egg.
couldn't really see all that.
Yeah, you got to, get in there. Yeah. That's right. Ben knows everything is correct. Well done. It's not clear which Ben, but probably me, since I'm the one streaming. Yeah. Europeans like to make fun of Americans saying they don't know geography when it's not true. Nobody knows geography.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not the best, though.
You ask any European about America, and they're like, America. And then that's it. They don't know any states or cities or anything about anything. They heard of America. Yeah.
I don't know. My geography's pretty bad, but that's all I know.
But I know the Netherlands pretty well. And Belgium, France, Germany, so forth. The UK, and so on.
Everybody's terrible. That's true.
Everybody's terrible, right? And they try to make fun of other countries saying they're not terrible.
Greetings from Denmark.
Yeah, go Denmark.
I think DE.
Well, DE could also be Deutschland, but not really. Georgia, the country? Probably. All right, for several $trillion, name 2 cities in the country of Georgia.
Darn. I would know, if I heard the cities, I would probably be able to place 1 or 2 in Georgia, especially since you went there before, but I forgot.
So Tbilisi, which is the big city and
Okay.
capital and stuff. Then the city I was in, Batumi.
Oh, that's Batumi.
Nobody's heard of Batumi unless they've been there
Chess
for chess.
stuff.
There's a lot of chess there.
Batumi's the one I hear the most. I've heard
Atlanta
about
and
that.
Savannah is good. Yeah. All right. I can't pronounce Tbilisi correctly, but I know what it is.
Yeah, my geography's not good.
Now, if you think,
I don't like to
which
travel.
is not your strong
Get
suit,
on a plane.
if you think you know a small airport, like, well, I've been to a small airport, look at me. Go to Batumi, which is an international airport. That's the smallest airport ever. Like, there's room for like 1 plane. And when you go inside, the airport is like the size of our basement.
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole airport inside is like, yeah, you're like, they like 1 plane land and they're like, wow, a plane landed.
You
And they have like customs and passport.
all your geographies from video games, Council of Rogues. That's
What?
Where, that's where my oldest
Italian
son
airports,
knows all his stuff.
we
is
saw
from
the
video
airport in
games.
Rome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The Dothan Airport's pretty small.
Dothan. They never heard of Dothan, though I have. All right, go, mommy.
All right, white to move.
You can do it. You can do it, Otto. Help each other out. That'll be our motto. I mean, I'm pretty sure I solved it. Is that enough? Being pretty sure? Oh, maybe I didn't solve it.
I don't know because I have two different ideas. Oh, but you can check.
Yeah, I guess that's good enough.
I don't know.
You look at it for 5 seconds, say you don't know. Were you Archer? Come on.
No, I'm gonna keep looking. I'm just saying
Come on.
it's oh, that would be mate.
You hate when that happens.
So can't have that.
Did it like this? Did it like that? So the first move is obvious because I said so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see Black's threat?
Yeah, there's a mate there.
So you have to stop it. One move stops it. If you don't stop it, you're getting mated. And you can't give your queen away because I said so.
Right.
Thanks, Mr. Loopy. Hang on, Mr. Loopy. Loopy, hang on. Bonarici's like done too many drugs tonight.
I don't know unless you give the bishop away. I just don't see anything.
Right. Well, you have to not get mated.
Okay. Well, I was trying to see if there's something else.
Okay. So what move is it?
All right, bishop f4.
Okay. Now the move that nobody saw in the chat was Queen f5 check, which worried me. I didn't really care because I had to play Bishop f4. Then if you play King here, this is mate. You have to play King g3 check, King f2, take the bishop with check. But White's going to win because White's going to escape the checks and this pawn's going to decide. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think after takes, King here and King here win, so it stopped. But I'm definitely playing King here. I'm not going to go here and give him more checks. Yeah, and then I escape over here and I'm winning. Yeah. Yeah, you have to play Bishop f4 because you don't want to get mated.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't see it either? Well, I just kept looking. 'Cause I
Yeah,
thought
getting
maybe
mated is bad, so you
to
play a
do
move where you don't get
something
mated.
else.
That was 2264. All right, go Karen.
Even if I didn't see it, it's forced. I know, but I thought maybe I just wasn't seeing something else.
If you can't win by force, then try to win by farce. How do Iranian players win when they can't win by force?
You've told that joke. Farsi?
Yeah, they win by Farsi. Yeah.
My brain works sometimes. I can remember stuff.
Frankly, delicious.
Yeah, it's like giving a hint. I agree that it's like giving a hint
This one's too hard for
in the
me.
puzzle. If there's no other move. Let's see. I need hints though.
Yeah, this one's tough, but I solved it. But yeah, this one's not easy. Did your guys play against Abdus Satorov? Who are my guys? None of these puzzles are 2800. These are all like 22 so far. Yeah, the 2800 puzzles here are tough. We had a 2900 puzzle like an hour ago, and it's not solvable. And I ran. They told me to put a dot on Iran in one of those tests, and I said, wait a second. Right, sweetie? Bishop b4 wins 2 rooks to the queen. What? Man, I've seen some bad answers, but that one was sort of around the middle. All right, let me help you.
Well, I was thinking F5.
Let me help you.
Okay.
Okay. White has 3 threats.
Yes.
Okay. Queen takes bishop check.
I didn't see that
Okay.
one.
And then knight takes check and knight here check, win your queen on g2.
Right, I was looking at that.
So f5 just, I would win your queen. I just check and take your queen. Knight here check or knight here check.
Okay.
I take your queen. Okay. You have one move that stops all 3 threats.
One move.
So the only way to stop this knight check from winning your queen is to move your queen or your king. That way the knight, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
However, you also have to stop that. So what move stops all 3? What move gets out of check and saves your bishop?
King D8.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, then
I
this
was never gonna
doesn't
find that.
this doesn't work, this doesn't work, and this doesn't work. Then I looked at like queen b6 check for a second because it's pinned.
Yeah.
And then I could just play rook c7. I should be okay. And these pieces aren't scaring me. So, yeah, let me go here.
Oh yeah, I was never gonna get that.
24-11.
So you guys all got that?
Bishop b. When you say this also works, nothing also works. It's a puzzle. If other moves also worked, it wouldn't be a puzzle. Bishop b7 blocks your rook. So after bishop b7, double question mark here, and you resign. And it says plus 1 billion. By the way, here's a move you're going to like. You ready?
Yeah.
Bam! First played in the game, gotcha, bitch. Yeah, then here, and resigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually now says mate in 10 now. Yeah, harsh. So your move was bad and you should feel bad. Yeah. So forth. All right. Go, Karen.
All right. I'm not doing very well on the puzzles tonight.
Doing great.
More-
Go,
more-
Karen.
More beer will solve that problem.
Can you beer me? This looks like a chess 960 game. Like, what what's happening? I guess the king just ran over here. And then this, I don't know how'd this rook get here? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What?
All right. Let me look.
How'd that happen? Delicious. The reason you're terrible in a puzzle, there's other reasons why you're terrible in regular chess, is because when you solve a puzzle, you know it's a puzzle, you know that one side's winning, and when you try to solve the puzzle, you don't go deep enough. You're like, I don't know. And then when you do go deep enough, you never play the right move for the other person. You're like, I go here, then they make the worst move ever. Then I go here, and they make the worst move ever, then I win. That's not how you solve a puzzle. Both sides play perfect.
Well, how do we solve it?
What?
How do we solve it?
This one?
No, in general.
When you look at a move that you think is the right move, then you have to look for the right move for your opponent.
But I try
People
to do
hate
that.
doing that.
No, I don't hate it. I'm just not good
In
at it.
tournament chess,
Bad at it.
people find moves that win for them and don't find the same moves that win for their opponent. It's very common. It's equally difficult, but when they do it, they're like, I'm great. When their opponent does it, they're like, damn, I missed that. You have to spend more time looking for what your opponent can do. That's why you can't solve puzzles, because you don't see the opponent's defense. That's why, like, playing quickly in a slow game means you're never going to play well.
So I have ideas, but my ideas are usually.
Let's
bad.
hear your ideas.
Well, my idea was like knight g6
Okay.
check,
Okay.
and then h takes.
Okay.
Then h7,
Okay.
and then I don't know what they would do.
They move their knight.
Oh yeah.
Knight
oh, yeah.
f6.
Oh darn! And then they're protecting that square. If they move it to, I guess their best square would be f6.
After knight here check takes h7,
Yeah.
then I could play queen here check and trade queens.
Uh,
Yeah.
Let's see.
I have other moves that win, but just
Darn.
yeah.
see, my idea's bad.
All right, so let me tell you the
But
answer.
I did look at what they do.
I'm going to tell you the answer without telling you the answer.
All right.
The answer is knight takes queen mate. You agree that that's mate. That is
Yeah.
mate. Okay. So it's a clearance sacrifice. If that queen wasn't there, mate. Right? You agree.
Right.
Yeah. So you want to play mate. So get that queen out of there, but don't let him, play rook takes knight check, because then, that won't work.
Oh, I see. Well, you told me the answer.
No, I didn't.
D5.
Queen where?
D5.
Queen here? No, you have the right idea, but then it's my move and you're threatening mate, so I can just stop it.
Oh, by just not taking the queen.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the queen. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that's
So,
probably.
But I have to move the queen.
Yeah, if you play here, probably queen e7, pinning the knight, and then all pieces are hanging. Then queen takes exclams. Actually, queen e8's better. Man, look at this. Queen here, queen takes double exclam. Although d6 probably wins. But queen e8 wins for black, as do other moves.
So.
Go, Karen.
You said prevent the rook from moving.
Right. Well, you want to move your
Take
queen
him.
and get into tempo, so you're going to check him. Then when he gets out of check, you can mate him. So you got this check, this check, this check, this check. And I think that's
Okay.
it. I don't think you have any more checks.
So.
One of them works.
Just queen g7.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he takes it with the bishop and you go here. If you do anything else, then you can't mate him.
That was too hard for me.
Aw,
Yeah, that was just too hard.
22-11.
But
Yeah.
I bet very interesting.
Yeah, as Ali Mortazavi said before you were born, that's smother mother. That's what he calls it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he remembers that. Probably because he invented it.
I had one over the board game. I'll never forget it, where I won with Smother Mate.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to that, it was just the worst game ever.
Aw.
Like, I didn't even have to do all that I did to win.
I can show you another example of smother mother. Smother that mother. Hey, now I have COVID. Yay. All right. Bam. Speaking of smother mother,
Yes.
what about the Smothers Brothers?
I don't know much about them. I've heard of them.
One of them was in Casino. He was the guy that De Niro was yelling at when he wouldn't get a fair hearing. He was the head of the committee. He's like, let's take a vote. He's like, wait, what? Weren't you in my casino? I've never been in your casino. What? You were in my casino? Yeah. He was furious.
All right. So I won't drink any more beer.
The same deviled egg.
My limit for one night is 2 beers. I already had one. and
This puzzle's not 1,300. It's at least 2,000. 2,000 to 3,200 is the level.
That means I'll only pay for 1 beer when I go out.
Hey, you, beer me. Go, Karen.
Cheap night out.
Yeah, Saltire, one of your moves is illegal.
All right, let me take a peek.
JAL or 13114. No.
So you already saw like how I hadn't even looked at
It's funny how people give the same illegal move because after moves are made, they give moves from this position, which is I know why they're doing it.
What do
It's
you
funny.
mean?
They're analyzing.
Yeah.
Then when they move pieces a second time, they think the piece is where it was. So they're like here, 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 and I'm like, one of the moves is illegal because they're moving the piece from the square that it is here instead of later.
It's hard to visualize.
Right. But the 2 people did it. Yeah, 2 people gave the same illegal answer. I like that. Scottish Demon go, you didn't give illegal moves as the answer. I don't like it. Yeah. Oh, you just copy and paste. Hey, NJ Crispy, did you check out my YouTube page where your name is on the name of the video?
Hey, why wouldn't it be just queen takes e3? Check.
Obviously. Continue.
And then some knight move. Let me just look.
Okay.
Guess it has to be.
Should I call Bob Seger?
Yeah, I guess no. Knight f2 check.
Right.
And so that's the question.
Whether it's his nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of down a bishop,
So probably.
or to take arms against a back rank, etc.
So queen c1.
Right. They were all writing queen b1 because the queen was here in the original thing. So they were like queen e3, knight f2, queen b1. I thought it was a typo. Then another guy wrote it. Then NJ Crispy said he just copies and pastes the right answer for somebody else. But he was kidding. Right. Probably some people go here missing this. And some people go here because they like winning material. Yeah. That was 2058.
That one was like a puzzle rush one.
Yeah, they thought it was like 1300.
Yeah, that one wasn't hard.
Right.
I mean,
Now, for those of you who are newer to chess, which is most of you, the reason that White played rook f2 is he doesn't want to get mothered. After here, we play double check. I got 2 checks, 1 for each of you. The king has to move when you're in double check. Then you mother him. The knight defends the queen, so you can't play king takes. And then the king is smothered. That's one of the first things you learn as a beginner because it's cool. It never happens, but look how cool it is.
It happened once.
Yeah. Ooh, king and pawn ending's your favorite.
And the guy was like 15 something rated. Patrick something. Beat him over the.
Was it like Patrick Mahomes and you got the Patrick prize?
He was very unhappy. I took a bunch of his points. Let's see. I don't know, this is hard. Seems like maybe you have to run the A pawn up the board. Get the king to go chasing that guy. And then try to queen your F pawn by moving your G pawn.
Right.
maybe.
And and this is a very important point.
Can't move your king.
Okay, here's the point. You can't move your king. But
Oh, you can? We're not far.
But don't. Right. You shouldn't move your king. You're right. Okay. After A4, your idea is when the king comes over here and stops you, you're going to play G4 and then go there. Okay?
Right.
Okay. Here's the problem. If you play here now, okay, plays H5 just to stop your idea.
Oh,
Now
so maybe I
then-
have to go G4 right away. then?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then you probably have to give away one of your queens with check, so you can queen the other one with check, probably. Yeah. Okay. So now, this is insinuating that these moves don't both win. Since this move does nothing, I'm going to say it's here. That was your idea? Okay. Right. Now, it's also insinuating that these moves both don't win, otherwise the puzzle would be over. So that's
Right.
interesting. This move doesn't really threaten anything. Here's the problem with white's position, is black's going to go here. Black's going to queen. So 1, 2, 3. Black's queening in 5 moves. And it's hard to push both pawns because that takes like 50 moves. So what you have to do is you want to queen one of your pawns with check while he's stopping it. Then you queen the other pawn with check because the king took the queen, if you see what I'm saying. Okay. So the question is, how do we do that? Do we play a5 or do we play f5? Now, the problem with f5 is if you play f6 and I go here, you can't queen with check because you can't. So that's not good. So let's analyze. a5, h5, a6. Now he has to move his king towards your pawn because you're queening. So king somewhere. Then f5 here, f6 here. And now you could take or not take, it doesn't matter. Well, it probably does. Then I want to make a queen. So what I want to do is I want to go here, here, here. When he goes here, I want to queen with check. He takes it, then queen this with check. I'd also like to queen this with check and then queen this with check. So I have to analyze all the particulars. So let's look at this line. Here, 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 here. Queen takes f5 here, f6 here, f7 here or here, check. So that seems to work. And this doesn't seem to work because after f5, f6, I go here and you don't queen with check. So like here, 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 here. And it looks like we're just both queening. We're both going to queen. So I think it's a5. Because we're closer to queening and he has to stop us. Here we're not closer to queening because the king is here.
Right.
This pawn's further away. So I think it's a5.
I think it's a5. That's what I thought.
Okay, g3 we have to take it because... See, and g3 is an absurd move. The reason it played g3 is we have one move that wins. So it's like you have one move that wins, that's better than you have two moves that win. But I think h5 I only have one move that wins. I don't think f5 wins there. It might. Right. That's 27-33. So let's dig deeper. So watch this. If I play a4, remember I said black would play h5? Okay. And then it says h5, black is winning or better. Otherwise, white's winning. And the move h5, which nobody in the chat would ever see except Spencer. I mean, Mark. Spencer, too. I think Spencer's here, but Mark would see it. Is you have to see what your opponent's going to do. So, like, if Magnus Carlsen played h5 in a blitz game, they'd say he's the greatest genius ever, which is just dumb. White wants to go here, so we have to stop that. It says black's winning now after that because these pawns are good and these pawns are falling. And seeing h5 is very, very, very difficult. But you have to realize you want to go here, which you did. Then you have to say, okay, what if he goes here? Because it stops you from going there.
I didn't see that move, though. That was important. I didn't
Right,
see
to stop.
H5.
Right. Okay. So
I had
a4,
my
a4
order
actually
wrong.
loses.
I had
Okay.
the order wrong.
g4 wins. Takes. Now, I don't think okay, a4. Right. Now, h5 instead of the stupid g3. Right, a5 is the only move that wins. Then if he takes, a6 is the only move that wins. And then I was going to play a7, a8, which works. And f5 also works, but I was going to do this. That also wins. Yeah, and then I can queen. I don't have to. And then I queen first. And I queen with check. So then I win. So that's very hard. The hardest thing about the puzzle isn't calculating. It's seeing after here your opponent's going to go here. Now, if you play a4 and your idea is to play g4, and you could play g4, your idea is to play a4, then you have to like decide.
I should have thought about it a little bit harder.
Well, it's very hard to see
I didn't
h5.
see the h5 move, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
not easy.
I think I could have seen it. I just didn't.
Put it in H. Well, it's a hard puzzle. You leaving soon? It's 8:30.
I'm not going to go this early.
What time do they open?
It starts at 9, and Misty said that, let me see if there's an update.
She's already texted you she's not coming?
Oh, she's coming, but she's not going to come till like 9 or a little bit after.
Okay.
So I'm not leaving yet.
All right. Next, yours. So next.
Double check.
Come on, let's get a train going, guys. We're like 20 minutes late for the train. No. All right, go, Karen. Ooh, look at that attack. Yours.
No, I'm
so
enjoying
next.
the puzzles. It's just I haven't been to karaoke much lately because I got COVID
COVID.
and the holidays. So I have a couple of friends I wanted to chat with and maybe sing.
Thanks, Born in Oz. You're the best with your 5 subs. Nobody does it better than Born in Oz. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody donates half as good as you. Born in Oz, you're the best. The way that you push that donate button, the way that you give subs. Right? Right. Mm-hmm. And Jay Crispy said, Rook H3 mate. That's really funny. Your last move's very funny. He's repeating and he says mate during the repetition. That's funny. Also, you hung your rook.
I think I had to be there.
Yeah, I'll show you what he said. It's very funny.
All right, but I'm going to look at this right now.
And so forth. So far, everybody's incredibly wrong. It's only a question of who's the most wrong.
Well, I'm the most wrong because I didn't even have an answer yet.
That's better than their answers. Yeah. Yeah, that was Levitsky Marshall, 12 or 23, one of them. I think 23. Mark would know. So far, nobody's even close to the right answer, as per usual. Nobody does it better. Mainly, etc. Yeah, you giving up, that's correct. Yeah. The puzzle's wrong. The rook should be in front of the queen. That would make things easier. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, generally when you have a battery, you want the smaller piece in the back, in the front. That way you could back that ass up. Yeah. Do you still teach at St. Louis Chess Club? Every day. 10 years ago. Sorry, HF2. I like HF2. Put it in H. We need the bishop on E6 to stay there, so you stop knife F5. That's an interesting take.
Let's see. I was looking at 93.
I am Rix. You're giving moves double question marks and saying you're winning.
Let's see.
What move are you looking at?
93.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the problem with the queen takes, which was the first thing I thought of. Takes, rook takes, king g2, rook check, king here, h5, threatening h4 mate, is we can play knight f3, stopping h4 mate. And if you take, I take with the king and I run away. So that doesn't work. Knight f2 doesn't work because after queen takes f2, your queen's attacked.
Right. Exactly.
So knight e3. And this is good because when the pawn is here, it stops the king from running away in certain variations. Then you take, obviously.
Right.
Okay. Now, g3, you have a funny move. And queen f2, you have a similar funny move. I don't know if it's going to play g3 or queen f2. I don't know. Oh, actually, after queen f2, you have more than one way to win. You have several ways to win. So it's going to play g3. I think after g3, you only have one move that wins. So I think it's going to play g3. Oh, it just gave up. That means after g3, you have more than one move that wins? I don't believe that. Okay, so let's analyze. That's 23-11. Okay. So how do you win here? Oh, you do have two moves that win. But the second move is ridiculous. It's dumb. It's actually pretty funny.
Let's see.
But the correct move is just,
Bishop g2.
Correct. Yeah. Right, and then after you're here, you play mate.
Yeah.
Because the pawn's here, right. After queen f2, I was thinking we double check and then play mate. But actually, every bishop move wins. Because it's mate. Smother mother. Yeah. And here's the other way to win, which is funny. This move wins. And here's the reason. After queen h2, which looks fine for white, we take, and you can't take my queen because it's mate. Which proves my theory, always play bishop f1. Now let's look at some of your moves. You guys were like here, and then after... Actually, it says rook takes wins and queen takes wins. Because the queen and rook are defending h2.
That was the first thing I looked at. But
Right.
It didn't seem
Yeah, knight e3 is good because then you don't help white, like defend.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's forcing move.
So here's the psychological problem a lot of you have.
Attacking the-
I mean, in chess, not the other psychological problems. Is you're going to sack a knight because you want to go here, right? And then you're like, well, this wins a pawn and this doesn't. You're mixing your metaphors. You don't care if you win a pawn or not. You're sacking all your pieces for mate. So you don't like, oh, this wins a pawn. You're trying to stop white from defending. This move helps this piece and this piece. This move doesn't help it at all. And we're sort of lucky and we're fortuitous, that means lucky, that our queen and rook are lined up on the bubble up. Yeah, so knight e3, double X clam. King takes h2, defends the a pawn. English? What?
Yeah, where are
Can you
reading?
analyze? Yeah, the problem with knight e5, if you play knight e3, you're attacking the queen, and something none of you saw, especially none of you, right? Not just none of them, but like really none of them. If you don't take the knight, okay, bishop h3 probably wins, but you're threatening queen h3, gh3, rook h3 mate, because the knight's defending g2. So that's a big threat. That's mate. Yeah. Now the problem with knight e5 is the knight here isn't attacking the queen. And your idea is to play bishop takes h3, right? So unfortunately, knight takes e6 wins, because that's the end of that's it. Yeah, now you can't do Vishwa nothing. Hey, somebody in India got my quicker joke. They talked about, they said, hey, you said quicker. That was good. I can't roll the R, but you get it.
I don't even know the joke. I remember you making it, but
No, there's some, when I was in India before you were born, there was a commercial on TV. It was like sending packages by bike or something. And they said, it's quicker. And they rolled their R. That was the name of the company.
oh,
I mean, it was 10 years ago. So it could have been like a hitman service. I don't know. I forgot. All right. You leaving yet or one more?
I'm just putting my sweater on because it's got chilly now.
Wait, you said no, people don't want to see that.
Yeah, they
Boo. They want to see you put clothes
It's a
on?
nice sweater.
Yeah, but come on.
Let's see another one.
Bishop c8 has no threat. So that's not good. Anyway, your answers are shallow and pedantic. Do you
Calm
agree?
down here.
Shallow and pedantic. Yeah. Okay. Go, Karen.
Right, black's
You weren't looking, but somehow you found checkmate. Man, I wish I had some more pieces. Yeah, they're pretty funny in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And barely a GM. You're barely a chess player. Yeah, me and Yasser are like that, son. Yasser could be here right now, but probably not. Probably asleep. Dun, 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 dun. I've told Aviv stuff, but I've never been to Tel Aviv. Do you think Yasser is older than you? I mean, I know how old I am. I know how old Yasser is. So, yes. Every answer in the chat is the worst.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Come on, people. Let's get a train going. Train, train, train. Train, train, train. Yeah, Yasser's about 10 years older than me, approximately. I think he is 10 years older than me. All right, what's your first idea?
I don't know.
First idea. Say any movie you've looked at.
Well, I've looked at Rook Takes E2.
That's the yeah. There's no other movie.
Yeah, I was looking at some other stuff too.
Well, now you just take a queen with check. All right, next. Yours. So next.
All right, but
Never mind the buts. Here's my card. Look me up in my Gettysburg Address. Bugs Bunny.
well, I mean your queen's attacked, and if you take the bishop,
There you go.
well then the rook.
Right. Okay. And now you have a really good move recommended by me.
Oh, Queen E3.
No, that's not good.
That's not me.
No.
What's your good move? Queen takes G2.
He has to go to the back rank and lose both of his rooks.
Oh, because of the pawn.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was 21-20. It's just taking things.
Well, that pawn though is key. Yeah, you have to see that pawn on D4. You can't run out. I just didn't see it.
Yeah. Right, because if queen G2, king E3, then yeah, white's doing well. Why not queen takes bishop first? Let's see. You guys don't like the queen takes bishop? Well, then I take your rook. White's up a lot of pieces. Yeah, you have to go here or you're much worse. And then this way you win everything. Yay, and you win
Well,
all
I
the
didn't
rooks.
but I didn't see
No, but
that.
somebody said, why not here first? Ugh.
Well, I was trying to figure
boo.
out
Yeah.
like even Queen B4 check. I just couldn't come up with
Yeah,
anything
no, you
optional.
gotta take. Yeah, you're down like a 50 pieces here. Queen b4 is just a silly move. I mean, that's got nothing to do with
I
the
just
position.
looked at it.
No, I mean them. They're a lot like Queen b4. Then they suggest illegal moves. Yeah, everything you wrote was wrong. Every move is the worst
There's
move.
no way to know it's bad until you look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like here, and then they're like, if white intentionally loses both of his rooks, I'm winning. Yeah, boo, boo.
Yeah, I didn't see anything over
Queen
there.
b4 is instantly refuted by bishop d2. But I mean, you know, you're down 50 pieces, and here's a way to win all of white's pieces, and you guys are like, I don't want to do that. Why can't I do my way, which doesn't work?
Well, I didn't see the rooks. No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I have to go, I guess. Yeah,
Is
I have
king
to go.
e2 forced? No. Now, in this position, I'm threatening mate, right? So the only move that's not king e2 is knight c4, knight b1, stopping mate. Yeah, then the engine announces mate, because goddamn, that king's no good. You know, I'm going to check and go here, and there's no defense to this.
Yeah.
King's naked. Now, you could also play king f1, which we didn't look at. Obviously, king takes is the same. It's the same, as king d1. So now you have to stop this mate. If you play here, I go here, and then that's hard to stop. You can pre-move that. Yeah, white's king's getting mated if he doesn't take the rook. So, yeah. Da-da-da-da.
All right, I gotta go.
Wait, he's heard of me, and I'm his favorite GM.
You?
As long as he hasn't heard anybody else, then I'm good. We only got one train while Karen is here. Boo, boo.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the puzzles.
Pad, see you.
Bye.
Have
I'm
fun.
gonna go to karaoke.
Boy, the waggling. Ben, if I donate $50, will you say rawr? Make it 100. Actually, don't do 100. $99. Or not 50, $49.99. That's to be a lot of nines in it.
All right, bye, everybody.
All right, I'll do a few puzzles and then, not many. Thanks, Casper VLD.
All right, there. Sees you.
69.69. Yeah, all right. Guess. If I have to. No, why is my position so bad? Wonder if I should go here so I get stalemates. Guess not. Okay, this loses to this. This loses to this. Yay, that was 2,400. It really was. It says 2,400. I'm the best. Yay, 1 cent to do. Thanks, Anonymous. All right. Let's see here, and then here, and then here. That was 2,036. Let's see. Bishop h6. And then rook check. I mean, gotta do something. Let's see. Here or here. This looks bad, and this doesn't look bad. And then this looks bad because of knight check and knight here. That was 2,030. Let's see. Takes, check here. That was 2075. Let's see. It has to be here. And then do I take this or do I take this? Good question. Seems like they both should win. Here. King up here. King up here. I'm gonna go with here. 2644. I guess a lot of people try to win this pawn, but that's probably not good. H3, G4. Probably it's a draw. Let's see. Nice graphic. Yeah. 1 cent to do. Hooray. Hooray for everybody. Let's see. Whose turn is it? Mine? There. Carry the 1 plus tax. No. I don't like this puzzle. It's too difficult. So queen e5, queen here, bishop b8. Good enough. That was 2274. Let's see, that's annoying. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's annoying. Dun, 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 dun. 2325. All right, what color am I? White? Okay, and there's some stalemate tricks. So it takes in here. I guess so. Always play king b1. That was 2027. Dun, 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 like a big pizza pie. That's annoying. Bum, ba-dum. Oh, I like queen e2. That seems like a strange move for a puzzle. Bum, ba-dum. I mean, I like queen e2. Yeah, I just liked it. Okay, so rook g7, knight h5, queen takes c4. I don't know. Rook g7, king g7. I don't see where that's getting me. Could go queen h5. I don't see where that's getting me. Knight h5 doesn't work. Knight f5 doesn't work. I could take and play knight h5, then you play rook f7. And then I don't know what to do. I could take the queen and then move this rook sideways. And then I'm going to go here for sure, and he can't really stop me. But on the other hand, if I could go here right now, I don't want my knight on e2. Yeah, the rook is actually good for me here because he can't play rook here, rook here. No! Try again. Boo. I like this. This rook takes rook here, threatening this. And this. Oh, looks good. I guess he could play rook here and rook there. I didn't see that. Boo, boo. I guess it's this. No! I'm running out of ideas. That was 25.97. That's too hard for me. That could be here. I should slow down a little bit. Let's see. That was 25.07. When the moon hits your eye. Dun, da, da, da. Dun, da, da. Huh. Check there. Then I go somewhere. Then check king there. And then bishop d4's mate if my rook's on d6. I can't argue with that. I don't see any way to stop bishop d4 mate. Okay, so that means I'm right. That was 25.53. All right, I'm white. Let's see, rook here. That's too shallow and pedantic. b6 looks good. Rook here. But rook here and rook here are the same. b6 here, this looks lost. So yeah, this looks tough. I guess it's just here. It took me a long time to see that for some reason. I don't know why. That was 2032. Terrible. Let's see. If I take, he goes take here. So c6, take, I win. And this doesn't win because of... Wait, why doesn't that win? Here, 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 here. So I have to go here. All right, that was 22.81. If I go here to play king d5, why am I playing king d5? So c6, bishop here, then king here. Okay, I mean, that's just an easy win. So here, here, then I can go here, takes, check. Yeah, okay. And then I go here, takes, check. That's the only way to win? Probably. No! Oh, if I check, he plays king d and his bishop can stop. Boo, boo, too fast. I'm the worst. So here? Here? Let's see. So here takes here. That's wrong. Here takes here, here, here. I like that. And then what did I do? Here. That was 28.10. No wonder I couldn't solve it. Terrible. That was hard. What color am I? White? All right. Yay, thanks, laugh out loud quiet. Let's see. Where's the resign button? If he does this, I'll never win because his king has too many escape squares. So the first move has to be here or here. I can't give him this escape square. So it's either bishop b1 or knight b1. So knight b1, knight b6 check. This one's too hard. Actually, after king b4, if he queens, I play bishop takes b1 and king takes a4. And then if he plays bishop, king c1, knight b3 wins. If he plays bishop c3, knight e4 wins. So I guess it's just king b4, because then I'm threatening bishop b1 mate. Then he'll play knight c3. Yeah, but I think it's king b4. Okay, knight c3. Now it's probably some like silly move like bishop here, he takes, and then, you know, I checkmate him somehow. Yeah, that's what it is. And then I go here, and then I go here. Yeah. That was 2894. Yeah, that wasn't easy. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. All right. So knight e5 is the most obvious move. I don't know how it couldn't be. It has to be that. Well, what other move could it be? All right, so I'll just go here. Okay, now I can think. Not my strong suit. Queen g6, no. And then I'd like to put something here. But I could play, I don't play here and here. That's dumb. This is dumb. So it's either bishop g6 or knight g6. And they both look like they don't work. Huh. Queen a3, he can take it. Yeah. Oh, his rooks aren't doubled on the... I thought his rooks were doubled. He's going to the back rank, but they're not. Well, that makes me believe the bishop g6 and knight g6 are both good, but only one of them is going to be good. Problem with bishop g6 is black has 700 legal moves. Knight g6, you'll have to take it, otherwise you lose everything. Let's see, then if I take with the queen, he has to play queen e8. And then I give up. I could play rook f7. He only has a couple of checks. And bishop takes also looks like it wins. I guess bishop takes fails to queen h4. So knight g6, bishop takes g6, something takes queen h4. Now I'm just failing there. I can't allow that. I can't allow it. Bishop g6, you can't play queen h4 because rook f8 is mate. And you can't take my bishop. So I sort of like that. Not sure what I'm threatening. I guess I'm threatening bishop f7. The knight g6 is unstoppable. I don't know. I think it's bishop g6, but I'm not sure. Okay. And I wasn't sure what I was threatening here. I could play e4 to play queen h3. I don't see what black does about that, to be honest. You can't move the queen because rook f8 mate. You can't double because of mate. You can't take because I take it when you're queen. And you can't put something here. All these squares are defended. You only can go once. So I'm pretty sure it's e4. After e4, he could take this. Takes queen here, check. I play king h1. Oh, and my bishop's hanging. So that is a good defense. Rook g2 and my bishop's hanging. Very nice. Got to see those defenses. So that's annoying. So bishop takes e8. He has to take with the queen. And then knight g6. Oh, knight f7, king g8, queen g6 definitely wins. All right, so it's this. No, boo. That doesn't win? I'm sure this move wins. But maybe there's a move that wins more. But I like that move. We'll analyze it later when I analyze. This is the other move I was, this was the other move I was looking at, was bishop here. That's also wrong? Damn, I suck. I don't like e4 because of queen. Oh, queen g5 check, queen g3. I didn't see that. I didn't see queen g3. That was 3092. I saw this, but I didn't see that. All right, let me see why my moves don't win. Okay, why doesn't this win? Queen e8. This isn't winning? This? Wow, it says I have no threat. Also, it says this move is a draw. Now, that's a chess move. Yeah, that move I like. It's not the best move for black. I just like it. Yeah, I'm not even threatening anything. Knight checking here. I just thought this was easily winning, but there's no threat. And I thought this was winning. And this is the only move that doesn't lose. And I thought this was winning. And it says, like, he can play here and draw, and he can play here and draw. All right, well, can't argue with the computer. So then I saw e4 takes here, but I didn't see queen g3 defending my bishop. That was dumb. Yeah, rook f2 is good because when I say it's good, it's not, you know, that's, I mean, I forgot what variation that was. That was this, right? Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't this. What was that? Yeah. So rook f2, the idea is if you take it with the king, queen takes knight check. If you take with the rook, you check here, and check here. And so if you play check, I just play here. And then, you know, what else? Then takes. Draw. White's slightly better, it says. Yeah, rook f2 is crazy. Oh, e4 is good because you're threatening queen h3 mate, which that was my first idea. Then when I saw rook g2, queen g5, I gave up. And you can't play queen h4 to stop queen h3 because rook f8's mate. So this is the winning threat. And I almost did it. And then at the last minute, I saw rook takes queen g5 check. But I did not see queen g3. I thought he's just winning his piece back because I suck. So I almost played the right move, but I saw too much, but not enough. Boo. Terrible. Rook f2 didn't matter. It was just fun. Black didn't have to play that. All right, so I'm black. Black to move, and then he's doing that. Okay. Thanks, Dirty Dog 61. You're the best. Camera doesn't need fixing. Camera's fine. So when I take the knight, and then he plays a7, I have to move my king to the correct square. Not the incorrect square. Interesting. Well, I guess I'll take it, and then I'll decide what the right square is. Okay, queen, queen, king there, queen there, king there. Queen there, king there. So if I play king here, and then he queens and I queen, and he goes there, and I go there, and he goes there, and I go there, and I push, for example, he has queen here, check. And I'm not going to win that. That's a dead draw. He just checks me forever. So if I play king here, he can't play this check or this check, and then I can probably escape and win. So I'm thinking it's king here. Yeah, it has to be. I don't see any other line. Yeah. Then this is the only move. All right. The question is, do I go here or do I check? I'm sure that I check because I want this king defending this. So, yeah, let me get your king out of there. Okay. So do I push or do I guess. Yeah. All right, that was 2274. That seemed harder than that. Yay, Hype Train. Thanks, Nando's. Thanks, Laugh Out Quiet, etc. Let's see. So if I pin and then play rook takes. So the question is, which rook do I do it with? They can't both win or it wouldn't be a puzzle. Why does one move win and one doesn't? Darn. Because he plays rook c7 at the end of that. So why do I care? So rook c8, rook c2, rook c4, rook c4, b5, rook c7. Aha! Then I take this, he takes this, I take this, and the rook is attacking my bishop, so it has to be this rook. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And then if my rook was here, then he would take this bishop. That was 2098? That was much harder than 2098. I think a lot of people just guess which rook and they don't realize you have to play this rook. So they just sort of randomly play here and they're right. Terrible. Let's see. 100 centidues. Hooray. Yeah. All right, so it's obviously that and that. And then I have to keep going? Come on. Grandmaster. Queen e6, bishop e7, bishop e7. Right. That was 2070. So b5, and then if he takes, I have to play here, so I queen would check. Yeah. All right, and then I still have to win. It's not nice. I guess here. I don't see another move. All right, that's 2048. So when he goes here, I'm going to go here. No, I've seen this kind of puzzle before. It's got to be like here, and then I check, and then, or maybe it's not that. Yeah, so I move my F pawn, and then A2 I check, king B1 I play king B3. So the question is, he's going to play A5 check. Okay. And then when I go here, here, check, here, king here, he's going to play A4 check. Uh-huh. Well, that's pretty good defense, I must admit. No. Okay, we need more for the hype train. Let's not die at level 1. All right. Thanks, Laugh Out Loud Quiet. You're the best. Okay, so if I play rook e1, that's the same. F3, F4. They all do what I want to do, except for that stupid a5 check, which I don't like. I've seen this before, but I don't know if it was this exact position, but probably, frankly. You know what? I'll bet you the idea is I play f3 instead of f4, and then when all this nonsense happens, and he gives this pawn away, and he queens, and I check and go here, that queen here doesn't stop the mate because my pawn is here, and queen here doesn't stop this mate because this pawn is here. So it's got to be f3 instead of f4, so you can't play queen here stopping this mate. See, normally when you have a king here, king here, king here, and you're threatening mate, the queen can go somewhere and stop the mate. That's always the case. With these pawns on the board, it's different. So I'm thinking f3 is the right move. I hate that. Okay, so f3, a2, rook check, king here, that's just winning. So after f3, he has to play a5 check. Then I take, then here, and then I play king here. No, then I play rook. Wait, f3, a5. I could play here, and let him play a4. Yeah, so f3, a5, king a4 here, rook check here, king here, check, king takes, pawn here, king takes, with unstoppable mate. So my question is, why is my pawn on d3? No, my question is, why do I have to play f4, f3? I think because there's some line where he's going to play h2. And then when I take his h2 pawn, I have to stop queen a8. Yeah, so f3, a5, king here, h2 check, king here takes, here, a4, king takes queen, king b3, and my rook is here, so he can't play queen here. So f3. And I think I have to play king a4. I think taking doesn't win. Right, and then check, and then here. And then I can take, he queens, and I go here. Right, and now I have to take this one, so he can't play this. That was $31.99. Can I get donations for that? Especially since the hype train is dying. Delicious. Yeah, that was funny. You get a position where he can't stop your rook irrespective of where, it goes. Frankly, terrible. I've seen that before, but it's been several years. I just remember some of the ideas. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because, like, when you have a king here, and then these pawns aren't here, black always has a move. But with the pawns in the right squares, then you're winning, which is very unusual. It's a puzzle, so. Yeah, that was complicated. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. Okay, so rook here or rook here. Rook here, g4, and I'm done. So rook here, king here, rook here, king here, rook f6 mate. All right, I like that answer. 2049, that was easier. Okay, rook g3, and I'm done, right? Oh, king g3. Let's see that. Then check, then g3 check. It's funny, he doesn't have queen d5 check or queen a2 check, so that should win. Like, he takes, I check, he goes here, I check. If he takes this wins, he doesn't have any checks, but he could play king here. Then g2 should win, because if the rook moves, I have queen here and queen here. So that should work. No! Boo. I wonder... whoa. What's happening? What's going on? All right. That was weird. This doesn't win. G3, FG3, Queen F1. It does win, but this is better to play it this way. That way he can't take. G3 wins, but it's like 1.8. This is +6. Yeah, now you can't take because this is mate, so you have to play F3. And then, okay, it's funny that the pawn stops Queen D5 and the bishop stops Queen A2. So I had to throw in the check before playing G3, but I did not. So I'm wrong. That was 2567. I'm the worst. Okay, so if king here, bishop here, then we're done with the puzzle. So pawn here, bishop here, king here, bishop takes, king moves king here, and this threatens this. So I think it's here. This doesn't win. This doesn't win. Wait, this transposes. Huh. So after c7, what does he do? Oh, he plays bishop here. And then if I go here, aha. So c7 doesn't win because of bishop d6. But king here, bishop here, c7 does win. No, it doesn't, because he just moves his bishop somewhere. Okay, and b7 doesn't win. Oh, b7 does win. Oh, b7 does win. Yeah. All right. That was only 2068. Man, I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. So knight here, I guess. That seems pretty easy. Yeah. That wasn't too hard. 2341. All right. So I move my rook so I can play rook h1. If I move my rook, he'll play here, so he can play bishop here. Or he'll play here, so he can play knight here. Very interesting. So I want to play this in either case. That way I can play rook h1 and rook h4 mate. That's 2090. Okay, so this is a stalemate one. Oh, no, I'm probably winning here because there's no stalemates. So probably, because this pawn's here. So probably I can win. Let's see. Why is queen b3 better than queen a3? I don't know. Oh, I think queen a3 is better. Then after king h2, I can play queen d6. And after king h4, I can play queen e7? That probably wins. I think queen a3 is better than queen b3. I think that's right. Yeah, well, this one, that wasn't hard. 2645, all right. So pawn here, he takes, so that's wrong. Pawn here, he takes, that's wrong. So it has to be here, because there's no other move. Now I can play f3, and if he takes, I go here, and that's it. All right. And here, I think, yeah. That was 2326. Okay, you have to check this way so the queen can't take. That's the puzzle. If I check the other way, the queen could take on f2. That was 2464 for some reason. Ridiculous. Frankly, this looks like mate in 2. Am my pawns going the right way? Yeah. All right. That was 2212. What? Whose turn is it? Mine? This looks terrible. Queen check, rook check, knight check. Oh, and knight takes check and this f-pawn is pinned. That's funny. Yeah, that was 2350. All right, so if I make a knight, I have to make a knight because the crowd wants me to make a knight. So let's make a knight. That was 2324. It didn't even matter if it was right. The crowd wanted me to make a knight. So, well, if it's not queen a5, then what is it? It's queen a5, right? There's like no other move. All right. And now, let's see. I can check and move my knight and here. I don't like that. I think it's going to be queen c7. And then I have to think for a second. So knight b6, bishop d5, bishop c6, take, rook f7. Okay, that wins. And if rook b8, then I could just move my queen. Queen b6. That wins. I don't see fault with my analysis, so I'll do that. All right, 2846. Yeah, if he takes this, I play here, and that seems good. Hooray for Ben. Yeah. Come on, we need donations. These are hard. I'm black. What color? Which way am I going? I'm going this way? Okay. Whose turn is it? He has this check, so I can't go there. Am I going this way? Yeah, okay. Thanks, Professor Butts. So if I check him here, then he can't play this. So I can play here, and then I'll mate him. But if I go here, he goes here. Darn. So I don't like that. Oh, it's just queen here, check, queen here, check. Takes, king here. Oh, yeah, queen. Yeah. That was dumb. That's 2490. Ah! Ah! This looks like one that I got wrong recently. Man, it looks like every move wins. I mean, I don't win if I play like knight c3 and knight 3a4. I can't go to a5. That's illegal. All right, never mind. So knight takes b7. Rook d7. Knight d6 check. I mean, how can this not win? No! That doesn't win? Oh, I'm down a piece. Oh, all right. Oh, lucky. I've already gotten this one wrong. I remember doing it with Karen and like I was wrong. I'm the worst. Yeah. What? It's here? I've already gotten this one wrong like twice. Do I check and play b7? I just take and play b7? Yeah. That was 2766. Yeah, I was pretty wrong about that. Let's see. Takes. That's probably right. If he goes here, he has check. If I take this, that might be right. Probably is. I don't want to let him check me. Takes, rook takes, queen takes. King here, I have bishop b1. Rook back. I like this move. I don't care if it's right. 2399. Man, he could always play bishop f1. Terrible. So queen takes. Looks like it. And then I'm in check. Rook here, king here, rook here. They all look like they win, so I'm confused. A king here, he can take this and take this. If I play rook here and he takes with check and I go here, he has bishop e4 check. If I play rook here, then after here I can play bishop f8, always play bishop f8. And then I should win this somehow. Queen here, bishop here. And d3, king takes check. That might not be winning enough though. That's winning a piece, but you know, am I winning there? I am winning there, but I'm barely winning. So I can just play queen g2 check and do the same thing. Then I'm really winning. I'm a professional athlete, so I want more. I don't see any more. Oh, this looks right. No, it wins the bishop. I have more than winning the bishop? Boo. I don't like this because the king takes. Oh, my knight's hanging. That's why all these tricks don't work. Darn. I mean, it might just be knight c4. That would be funny if the answer was knight c4. That would make it a really hard puzzle. Yeah, it is knight c4. It's 3164 rated because nobody's going to play knight c4. But yeah, my knight was hanging. So, yeah, so that was silly. I got that wrong. And I'm always wrong. I hate that. Let's see. He's going to mate me in St. Louis. So I can check and go here. And then what does he do? I don't know. I can also try to attack. See, the thing is, if check in here... Oh, because if I play rook, check, king here, I can't get my queen back here. That is true. I can check here, and he takes with a queen. I don't like that. Oh, I can sack my queen and win. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was 2505. That was 2013. Seemed easier than that. Let's see, I guess here, and then here, and then here, and then here. That was 3,000? That was 3,000? Jesus Christ. I solved that in like 1 second, like I was Nakamura. What? You should donate as much as you feel comfortable with. The more, the better. I'm not sure how the puzzles are rated. Okay, so I can take the bishop, or I can move my king. I don't see why I would move my king instead of taking it. I don't see the advantage. Queen takes doesn't make any sense. After pawn takes, he takes with the rook. Aha! If I move my king and he takes my rook and I take with check and he takes my rook, it's not check. That could be important. Not sure why, but it could be. All right, king g2, rook takes rook, pawn takes check. I mean, you can just play king f8 or king g8. So I don't see what the big deal is. I'm just going to take this. Yeah. Now, taking this is bad because he takes with check. And probably some people do that. But I can just take. Yeah. And then here. 2095. I was overthinking it. Not my strong suit. All right. So queen here. And then take is mate. And it's all mate. That was 2,600? That one was 2,600? Jesus Christ. That was pretty easy. If chess makes you depressed, play less chess. Do something else. Then after you don't play for a week or two, you'll be like, "Oh, I want to play chess. I'm mad," and then play chess. And let's see. I'm up a piece for 3 pawns, and my bishop's attacked. I don't really care about that. I don't know, bishop d5 resigns. I guess he can take, and then if I take, he can castle. I mean, that's winning. And this is hanging. Maybe it's not as winning as I thought. So here, I take and sack all my pieces? No. Rook b6 looks good. Looks really good. Takes this. That's completely winning. I don't know. I mean, I think more than one thing is winning. Queen b6 looks winning too. I prefer rook here. And then if he takes, I take. He castles. His queen's trapped. Terrible. That's definitely winning for me. But they might want something else. Oh, they want this move. Okay, I haven't figured out how to mate him yet, but that's what they want. Bishop here, king here. Oh, bishop here, bishop here. Okay. Now that wasn't easy. 2260? I thought that was hard. All right, so is it h5, king here, or g4? It's not g4. It's not king g4, unless it is. This is the most obvious. Then after here, h5 should win. King here, takes. Here, that's winning. What is it? Oh, h5, he can move his king up. So it's probably king here, h5. That's my guess. And then these both look like they win, so I have to calculate now. Takes, king here, takes, here. That's enough calculation. 24-28. Not hard. All right. Let's see. Knight f7 takes, queen takes, bishop e5 mate, bishop d4 mate. Oh, knight h6 mate. Okay. That was 2273. All right, this is definitely a mate. Looks familiar too. I don't know. I guess rook here and then mate. All right. 2264. Everybody plays this and doesn't see their bishop is pinned. Interesting. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, it's just knight check and rook d6 check. Oh, I didn't see that. All right. I saw this lost and this is illegal. I forgot about that. All right. So knight here looks like he resigns. So it's probably right. Then resigns. All right. Then this. That was 24-38. Let's see, I'm down 500 pieces. It's bad. Problem with rook h1 is he has knight e2. There's probably other problems, but that just like I don't want to play rook h1 anymore. Now I'm wondering if I'm winning. I'm supposed to try to draw. I mean, that's just an immediate draw. So I have the draw in hand. Rook 2-8. No. My craziness was wrong. Unless it wasn't. No, it's wrong. Yeah, this one's probably too hard for me. I could look at the chat for some really terrible answers. Terrible. This one's too hard. I mean, like in perpetual, I think. Oh no, this is the perpetual. Check here, check here, check. But if I'm winning, that's dumb. Hard to be winning down two pieces. I think it's just the perpetual. I don't see anything more. Or I'll try it. Yeah, it's a perpetual. Damn. I was trying to win, but I couldn't win, so I gave up. That's 2179. Karen's a karaoke. Yeah, that was hard for me. Just like this one's hard. 2317? I solved that in 1 second. Ridiculous. Terrible. Let's see. Rook e7, king g6, queen d3. Yeah, all right, that's probably right. No, queen d3 is not right. What? Queen d3 is not right? What's right then? Oh, then king f6. Yeah, all right. Oh, it must be this. It's not? It's definitely. I'm not going to play f3 and stop mate. Although maybe I will. It's really just f3 stopping mate? It can't be. So this makes no sense. I have to stop mate. This is wrong. This is wrong. I'm coming to the end of my rope here. I mean, it could be f3, just there's no, then black has nothing, but that's really dumb. Yeah, it was f3, Jesus Christ. Wow. That was 2183? It's a very strange puzzle. Okay, bishop here is the first thought, because then I have this winning the rook. That was 2351. That was a bit easier for me. Let's see, check, check. Yeah, okay. It's got to be the beginning of it. Oh, maybe this bishop check is mate. Yeah. That was 2247. Bishop h6, and then, yeah, queen f6. It'll be mate eventually. And then, do I mate him or do I take this? Or it's the same mate, which is funny. This might be a quicker mate. Here and, oh no, bishop f8. Okay, so it is here. That was 2090. Man, mean. We solved this one or didn't solve it, but I forgot what the answer was. We already did this puzzle, but I have no idea what the answer is. I forgot. Oh, is it king f7 promote to a knight? Well, I could also go here or here. So it's king f7, pawn moves check, king here, pawn here, queen, promote to a knight. No, that's not it. Oh, it's knight here, then check here, knight, and then, yeah, okay. And then this isn't mate, right? This is mate. 3 knights, what else? 2,800, that puzzle. So he wants to check and check. So check in here. Looks right to me. And then if I take, this is a draw. Probably. So here. Yay, 2577. No, there's too many queens. Boo, boo. It's too hard. I guess I'm mating him, so I'll do that. 2259. Damn, I'm down so many queens. No. Now, this looks better than this. On the other hand, if this, he can go here. This, he probably can't escape. Yeah, c3 doesn't escape because queen b3, bishop e3 mate. Yeah. That was 2452. Oh no, my rook. Where's Eric Rosen? Let's see. Bishop here resigns. That was an easy puzzle if that's the answer. All right. I like it. Oh, that move I didn't see. He wants to go here. Queen takes. No. So pawn takes. I mean, bishop takes. Knight check. King here. Knight takes. Yeah, that looks pretty winning. Both of these moves all don't win. I have to play the right one. Oh yeah, because it attacks his bishop. Yeah. 2299. 2 bishops. What else? Which way is this pawn going? Oh, this way. All right. Well, it's got to be here. And then I have to think. I gotta solve this already. Check here, here. I guess. Yeah, I think we solved this already. And then here, right? Let's see. Is it rook here or knight here? Probably knight here. Rook check. Bishop takes. It's probably winning. This might win, though. Maybe that's the right move. c3, I take. b3, I go here. Yeah, I like that move, actually. 2290. Well, it's definitely this. I mean, I don't know what the move order is, but that's it. All right, that was 2076. All right, what's happening here? Can he make a passed pawn? Here, 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 here. Here and then here. So he goes here, and then he goes here, and then take, take. All right. So I want to go here. All right. That was 2245. Bishop f1. Always play bishop f1. So it must be this. Or do I want him to play bishop f1 then do that? No, he play king h1. So bishop takes, king here, here, king here. Then f2 wins probably. I don't know. We'll just try it. Probably it's f2. Unless it's f4. F2 attacks the queen and takes this. That's probably right. All right, then if I take his queen and he takes my queen, oh, his bishop is stopping that. Damn. So it's this, and then take his queen. That was 2503. And let's see. This looks right. That's 2531. There. Let's see. Is it knight here or knight here? It's definitely one of them. Let's see. Knight here. He has to take with the pawn. And then knight e1 check seems to win. And why doesn't this win? Oh, because he defends his queen. Yeah. And then, let's see. Knight e1 and then rook f2. All right. That looks good. And then that's mate. That was 22-23. Probably a lot of people take this because it wins a lot of material, but mate in one's better. All right, so queen takes, takes, bishop g7. Okay, so that's not it. Queen takes, bishop takes, bishop g7. Oh, just taking this and taking this, I can queen? Take, here, take. Oh, he has king here. Ooh, because it's the wrong colored rook pawn. Here. And then if here, then bishop here wins. And if here, then I don't win. All right, well, let's look at this for a second. Oh, I take this first. Yeah, okay. I have to take that first. Yeah. That was 2482. Knight f7. Bishop h3. Knight. Then what? Feels like I should win. I guess it's knight g6. Not sure what to do against knight h7, but I assume I'm winning. I just don't know how. Knight here. He has to play knight h7. Probably rook takes wins. Rook takes, pawn takes, and then, something. It's hard to believe after takes, I'm not winning. And after takes, I'm not winning. They both look like they win. Huh. Rook takes, pawn takes, knight e7 takes. So if I throw in d5, I'm threatening mate. So rook takes e6, pawn takes e6, d5, cd5, knight e7, queen e7. Yeah, so that's the answer. No! No, it was all brilliant until I did it. Knight here takes rook e8. Then I don't know what to do. I thought that was a genius plan until it was wrong. Dang. I like that idea. I still like it. It doesn't work, but I like it. Oh, it's this. Jesus Christ. 27-17. That was hard for me. That's what she said. All right, queen h3 check. That's what the crowd wants. But the crowd doesn't get what it wants. Knight here, knight here, knight here. I think I solved this before. Let's see. Knight here. Check, king here, bishop check. Oh, I take with the king. Could also go here. I sort of like that. Oh, this is, sorry about that. Yeah. That was 2465. Let's see, rook d4, I assume. Seems right. 2146. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I guess it's F3? No, after F3 he can, so I have to play F3 before, no, that doesn't work either. So rook check there, queen check B6. If I move my pawn and he plays queen b1 and I play king f2 and he plays queen f1, then I don't want my queen on e3. But even if my queen's somewhere else, it's not good. Rook d8, move my f pawn, check. Oh, I can play king d2. I don't think that's good either. Darn. Queen f3? Wow. Then rook d1? I think that's it. Because queen f3 also threatens mate. Oh my god. If that's the answer, that's the greatest puzzle ever. And then queen here? Wow. Is it queen here? I think it is. No, that would have been the greatest puzzle ever. Well, now what do I do? Oh, queen c3 and king here because I'm mating them. Oh, you know what? I think after b6 this is right, but after c5 this is right. Because when I play king here... Oh, no, b6 is the same. Queen takes rook and I mate him here. Yeah. Yeah, if he played b6, I'd be threatening queen c7 mate now. I want to see why queen f3 doesn't work, other than it's ridiculous. I just wanted it to work. Oh, I didn't see queen takes rook. I only saw pawn takes. That's why I'm a grandmaster, except for one thing. It's Karen. Come on, guys, you're not donating enough. Rawr, I'm mad. Yesterday you did great. It's quiet out there. And blah, blah, blah. That's good trying to learn. What's wrong with f3? Then you get, then after queen to the back row check, queen f1 check. And the king's getting mated. Because the pawn's defending. All right, whose turn is it? There's no check, so it's going to be some subtle move like queen check and then here or something. I don't know. I think that's what it is. Yeah. And then, yeah, there's some mate. I don't know. Me alone. Probably this check and then this check. No! Why not? Did I have like mate in one? Wait, wait a minute. Oh, king b4. Okay, that's why. I'm too slow and too old. This. Check wins the rook. That's probably not right, though. I do like winning the rook, though. All right, let's try it. Oh, that was right. All right. I still got it wrong. Boo, boo. I'm the worst. Queen here, bishop here, rook here. Looks good. And then take this and take that. That was 2136, and rightfully so. I don't have any checks. So queen b2, queen e6, knight e7, queen h5. Then I have to play king f8, I think, because play g6, queen e5 check. How can it not be? Thanks, Zach Winter 97. How can it not be queen b2? What other move can I play? I have another move? That's hard to believe I have another move. I don't even see another move. I'm just going to do it. I don't care if it's wrong. I got to do it. D2 looks good. So maybe it's D2. Again, I don't see another move. So, damn, it was wrong. No. Who would have thought a little water would fall on me? What is it here? So I can play that? Damn. And then I'm not supposed to take the rook, so I can still play these mates, because my bishop is a great. So king here. I don't know, bishop here stops the mates. 97. I don't know. Might just be takes. Huh. If I don't take my king, he checks me a lot. Huh. I'm just going to take it. No, boo. I don't like king f8. I don't like anything. I don't like knight e7. Darn. Yeah, that's why I didn't like king f8. I guess taking with the bishop wins. All right. That was 31-37. That's why I couldn't solve it. It's too hard. No, I never liked pastrami even when I was a little kid. Corned beef was okay. I mean, I didn't like order it. You know, I was like, all right. All right, let's see. My turn. Rook takes rook check is annoying. What? Bishop c1? No. Can't move my knight. Can't do anything. Oh, I didn't see this. That's probably a good move. I just didn't see it was legal. And then probably it's check and check and check and check. That would be my guess. Yeah. All right, that was 2023. It was too hard to see queen takes f7 check. All right, so the obvious move is rook takes. Then rook takes. King here gets mated. King here loses. Unless it doesn't. Well, you can check and take this. Check here. I don't know. Let me think a second. Castles, if it's legal, hangs mate in 1. Also this mate in 1. This seems wrong, because he can just play rook e8. After rook e8, I can play knight e6. So it is rook f2. Then after rook e8, I play knight e6. All right. No! Boo! Boo! I was right, I tells you. I mean, this is the only other move I see, and I don't like it. I don't care if it wins. I don't like it. I mean, I really hate this move. I don't know what else to do. All right. Okay, but I thought he would play check and then take my rook, and then queen takes, king here. And that's why I didn't do it. I'll have to analyze that later. Let's see. Queen check, king here. Bishop check, knight here. All right. I'm supposed to play c5 for some reason? I don't think so. All right, that was 2276. I want to look at rook e6 check and see what I'm missing. King g1, queen h7. Oh, and just rook e1. Oh, snap. Yeah, I only looked at this. Does this win too? This is also winning. All right, I just didn't understand. I'm just dumb. All right, well, I think I'm dumb. I should have been on a plane. I'm on a plane. So king here. King here's no. King here's no. On the other hand, yeah, king here's probably bad because of this. Bishop f4, h4, king here, knight h2. I can just take it. Bishop d5, king here, takes, wins. f4, f4, h4, king here, bishop here, king here, queen check. This, huh. It's Karen. Oh, no, it's not. I like bishop here, pawn here, king here, bishop here, king here. I like that. Let's do it. 3,057. That was tough. Come on, we need, it's a 3-hour stream. We need a lot of, dun, 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 and all that stuff. Okay, so rook here, bishop here. All right, I can do that. That was 2742. See, people thought bishop a3 won, but rook c8 defends that. So that is just dumb. This isn't good. I'm going to make a zugzwang move. And then whenever he moves, I win his queen. No, boo. I hope that's not it. I'm not good at those. Not even good at saying zugzwang. So, bishop g2, knight e2. Huh. So knight check, king e6, knight check, takes. Okay, it's knight f5 check. Okay, now king e6 was forced, otherwise I win the queen immediately. Now, I could play bishop e2, bishop g2, or knight d4. It's one of those moves. Or it could be knight c5. No. Okay, bishop g2. Then if he plays... Yeah, that's, I mean, he has to take. And then I don't know what to do. Darn. So knight d4 check, pawn takes bishop g2. And then if queen g4, bishop h3. That's so nice that it has to be it. Bishop h3 is so nice that it has to be it. That was 2454. All right, do I take on f7? Do I play knight g5? Do I take the queen, or do I do all of them? Right now the winner is knight at g5, but he has knight e5 and knight h6. So now I'm thinking I take on f7, check him, and take on g4. That was 2088. Darn. Terrible. I'm on a plane. I can't complain. Shoot them both. This should be the easy part of the puzzle. Oh, that's right. I take this, and I go here, and then I go here. Yeah, that's the part I forgot about. All right. I'm old. Okay, which way? I'm white, and black is going this way. Okay, the rook's trapped, so there's some kind of zugzwang trapping move or something. King here, king here. King here, he has to go here. And then king here, he has to go here. And then I check. So it looks like king here. This loses, this loses. Not sure why that loses. King b4. These lose. So king b4, rook here. Uh-huh. All right, so what king move is it? King d6, no. King b6, then he has rook there. And I don't like that. I don't like king b6, rook c4. I don't like it at all. So king b5, rook a7, king b6. All right, that was just easy and I'm dumb. All right, that was 2182. I'm just slow. That was 2659? 9. I appreciate your streams ready. Were you ready for that? You have to be ready. We did this one. This is the one where like I couldn't solve it, but like Karen did, I think. I forgot what we missed. I still forgot. So knight check, king here. I think it was queen h1 checks what we missed. Yeah. Yeah, we couldn't solve that one. Bishop there, mate. That was 2987, and I'm not kidding. I guess people played queen takes bishop before they, thought of the right move. It really says 2987. That seems wrong. They're all difficult for me. The rating doesn't even matter. Some of them are really high rated and I can't do it, and some are really low rated and I can't do it. Some are high rated and do it instantly. I don't think the ratings are correct. This seems right. Because after here I want to go here, but after here I give up. So I need a move that, I'm happy. Let's see. Knight here I don't like. Knight here I don't like. Knight here I don't like. I like knight here a lot. That's first prize so far. Knight here I don't like this. Yeah, okay. And then obviously here. And now do I take this and play bishop e3, h3, or do I just take this? I think I just take this. I was definitely winning, but maybe there's something that's more winning. I don't know. Bishop g4 threatens mate. Buddy takes this. I just like that. All right, that was 2062. It was too obvious. All right, why don't these both work? I don't know. Oh, I'm in check. So that's why they don't both work. One's illegal. That was a good reason. I'm on a plane. I can't complain. This looks easy since it's a puzzle, but I still can't solve it. I'm too old. Oh, yeah, I know why I couldn't solve it. Because I'm dumb. I'm white, and I'm going that way. All right. Okay, so the first move is either here, here, or here. This makes no sense. Let's see. Bishop b3, queen takes, and I give up. Okay. Bishop b5. King here, here. King here, here. King here, here. All right. Is this stalemate? It is stalemate. That's nice. I'm on a plane. So I can go here, and then I can play this. And then king here, yeah. And then bishop check. Yeah. 24.99. That was not so easy. It was easy, but not so easy. Why are these so hard? Huh. This will probably be my last one, and then I'll raid somebody. I don't know. Because I don't know an answer. Oh, it's just queen takes and queen e6. Jesus Christ. I'm so weak. And then, I don't know, this is right, but was it this? That wins. Do I have a better win? I think so. 24-20. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching and so forth. Let's see. Naroditsky, Canty, etc. Mainly, etc. Let's see. Who do I have on my thing? Man, Naroditsky's streaming while Karen's away. A likely story. Thanks for watching, guys. Karen did the first half of it, so that was good. So we both did some puzzles. Probably tomorrow. It's date night. So if we stream in the afternoon before date night, we'll do the, what's that stupid thing you guys like? Game analysis. But we might not stream tomorrow because it's date night. If we do, it'll be between like noon and 4 p.m. Somewhere in there. I don't know when. I have to go get the dogs from the, they're getting, what's it called? Whatever dogs get when they clean them. Yeah. So probably what you should do is go to Discord and put your game in. It's never a guarantee I'll look at your game unless you donate a lot. Then it's still not a guarantee, but thanks for the money. I'll do that tomorrow if I stream. If I do stream, it'll be European friendly. If I don't, I'll do it Friday. So putting your games in now is probably a good idea. Yeah. See, did I spell Naroditsky right? I don't know. Looks like I did. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Or I won't see you tomorrow if we don't stream tomorrow. If we do, probably about 3 p.m. is my guess, Eastern.